Halstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
Welcome to Week 4 in high school football across the state of North Dakota, live here in the Stock Growers Bank broadcast booth at the gateway to the grasslands in Milner, North Dakota. Your live event welcomes you to Gaynor Field outside of Milner for a Region 1 matchup in 11A football. Each team tonight looking to get into the win column within the region. The 1-2 overall Northern Cass Jaguars are paying a visit to the 0-3 overall Sargent County Bulldogs. The Bulldogs are hosting their first game of the season in Milner, and it happens to also be homecoming for the three schools that come together to play football. That is Milner, North Sargent, and Sargent Central. Hope you all are having a fine Friday evening. I am Bryce Agnes, and I'm honored to be here this evening. This is the pregame show on your live event. Well, the Jaguars are coming into Milner this week after a 6-14 loss to Lisbon last week. Serving as the head coach of the Jaguars in his sixth season in that role, Tyler Hukestead is the head coach there at Northern Cass. I was able to catch up with him earlier this week in preparation for tonight's matchup against the Bulldogs, and here is what Coach Hukestead had to say. Joining me today, Tyler Hukestead, the sixth-year head coach of the Northern Cass Jaguars, joins us ahead of this week's game against Sargent County. Coach, welcome to the pregame show.
Yes, thanks for having us.
Well, here we sit now, looking ahead against the Bulldogs here on Friday. This is the second Region 1 matchup for you guys as we approach, hard to believe, almost already kind of that middle part of the season. Coach, your team so far is 1-2 overall, and last week suffered a loss to Lisbon in kind of a tight game. What have you learned so far about this year's Jaguar team after being 3 weeks in?
The boys are resilient. We haven't really seen that from a Northern Cass team in a while. They've battled adversity all season so far. I mean, week 1, we were down going to halftime, then rallied off 18 straight in the fourth quarter to beat Ray Powers Lake. Botno, good Botno team. We did a lot of great things. Had a sophomore quarterback step up and get his first taste of starting varsity experience. And like I said, we did a lot of good things. Just a couple negative things that just kept our defense on the field too much. And last week against Lisbon, we had a weird week where we had some guys gone on Monday from practice for various reasons, and then we had some sickness go through the team. So we had guys miss Tuesday, and then other guys missed Wednesday. So it was just, we're kind of all over the place in practice, and the boys showed up ready to go, and we were a physical football team on Friday night, and that's kind of been our MO all season. It's just our physicality. I've been really pleased with that so far.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't ask for much more than resilience out of your guys, kind of despite things happening and sicknesses. I think this time of year it's kind of infamous, right? You get a couple weeks into school and all the new germs and bacteria that sort of come through, and you're kind of bound to miss a few as long as everybody kind of shakes it off, pulls together, and comes together on Friday night. So, you know,
Absolutely.
We're coming here. Obviously, this is Sargent County's homecoming that you'll be coming down to in Milner. What's it like being on the other side of the coin, knowing that your team can kind of come in and spoil a homecoming week for an opposing home team?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think we really look at whether it's senior night or homecoming night for any of them. It's just another game for us on our side, and we're going to be ready to play. We know that. I mean, you talk to any head coach homecoming week. There's a lot of distractions for everyone involved on that side of piece. So
yep.
Coach Olson and his Bulldogs kind of have to deal with that. But we know Sargent County is going to be hungry for their first win. They're a young team, but like I said, they're going to be hungry, and we gotta be able to match that hungry.
Yeah, so, some of the guys on the Sargent County side of the field, is there some players that you guys kind of key in on and as you're going through game film and kind of replicating through practice, we got to watch out for this guy or that guy? Who are some of the kids that you guys have kind of noticed on the Sargent County side that may cause a little problems that you'll have to kind of keep an extra eye on?
Yeah, honestly, at number 24 is just somebody they try to get the ball to in many different ways, whether it's kind of like a wildcat thing at quarterback, or put him at tight end and get in the ball, or running back, or out wide. So they just kind of move him around to something that we kind of keyed on a little bit. Other than that, just we're going to kind of just show up and kind of do our thing and see what happens.
Yeah. For the folks at Sargent County and maybe those kind of tuning in around the state, or I guess around anywhere, it's the World Wide Web, right? Without giving away like a game plan type of thing, what kind of style of offense and defense do you guys normally run that you can kind of expect to see against Sargent County?
Yeah, our base defense is a 3-4 defense, and our D-line has been doing a really, really good job at eating up double teams for our linebackers, allowing our linebackers kind of flow free and make tackles. Beverly and Bush Crockett, they've done a really good job at just being able to play free and go attack the ball. And our D-lineman guys, Luke Walsky, Caden Williams, Brody Vanderwall, Anders Hupness, Aiden Dixon, Jackson Sinclair, all of them have been doing a really good job on the defensive side of the ball. And then on offense, we're kind of a spread team that we live in 11 personnel, 12 personnel, 21 personnel, 2 tight ends, 1 tight end, 2 running backs, just give different looks at defenses and find how we can attack the defense's weakness by aligning to different formations and whatnot. And then just getting the ball in our athletes' hands and letting them do the work, whether that's throwing the ball, running outside zone, whatever it is, just finding a way to get the ball to our athletes in space.
Great. Well, yeah, really look forward to seeing it here Friday night. Coach, I really appreciate you taking a few minutes out of your time here during this busy week, and it's a busy time of year, so appreciate you joining me here on the pregame show for your live event. Best of luck to you guys against Sargent County and the rest of the season as you get deeper into region play.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
You bet. Well, thank you, everybody. That was Coach Tyler Eukstead, the 6th-year head coach for the Northern Cass Jaguars, who joined us ahead of this week's game against Sargent County. We'll be back on your live event in just a few minutes after a word from our sponsors.
Fall is here, and that means harvest will ramp up quickly. How did your planter do this spring? Did you have the correct down pressure? Was your singulation spot on? Did you need row cleaners or a better closing system? This is Chris from Agassiz Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer, and we are here to help. Discounts, 0% financing, and $50 per row rebates on most all systems will give you the tools to improve your planter pass. Give us a call at 701-636-2119 or visit planterdoc.com. Have a safe and profitable harvest.
Anderson Seed Farms Incorporated is proud to announce its new partnership with AP Select Seed by AgriPartners. AP Select offers the latest traits and genetics in both corn and soybeans. They're a family-owned company that believes in fair pricing along with unmatched customer support that makes them truly better by choice. Anderson Seed Farms is a certified seed conditioning plant that grows, conditions, and sells Westbred spring wheat seed, which was the top-growing spring wheat in North Dakota last year. Contact Anderson Seed Farms in Foreman at andersonseedfarms.com.
Welcome back to the Stock Growers Bank broadcast booth for the pregame show on your live event. Once again, we are here in Milner, North Dakota, getting ready to kick off the 4th game of the season, 2nd home game for the Bulldogs, and 1st game of the season here at Gaynor Field in Milner for Sargent County. Also happens to be Sargent County's homecoming, where the Sargent County Bulldogs will be hosting the Northern Cass Jaguars. The Sargent County Bulldogs traveled up to Valley City last week and were defeated 30-8. Was able to catch up with the 21-year veteran head coach of the Bulldog football program, head coach Eric Olson, earlier this week ahead of the matchup against the Jaguars. Coach Eric Olson, the 21st year head coach for the Sargent County Bulldogs, is here on your live event. And Coach, it's homecoming week. I know in some ways it's not always your favorite week, but understand that the kids got to have a little fun while they're at it. Notice tonight you guys driving by in Milner, the team and you and coaches were all out there painting the field. How long has that been sort of a tradition for your team?
You know what? We used to do it just the coaches on our own, and we realize we're getting older and we're not as spry as what we used to be, and so we let the kids take some paint cans, and sometimes it's led to some fights and some arguments, but. And some mistakes on the field, but it's nice to give them some ownership and just be proud of making the field look really nice. And the guys, they do a good job with it. The seniors help Brooke with the Bulldog at the 50-yard line, and I urge them double and triple check, because it's hard to take paint off grass once you put paint on there. But just having them take some ownership and some pride in how nice the field looks, they do a great job.
Well, good. That's fun. Seems like a fun little tradition to kind of keep going. But all right. Well, hey, back to the game you got coming up here this week. Coming into this week's game, maybe not record-wise where you guys want to be right now, but just coming into only the second non-region game of the season. Lost last week to Valley City, and now moving on to Northern Cass. How does the team and the coaches kind of feel coming into the game this week against the 1-2 Jaguars?
Well, we, yes, we're 0-3. We've made some progress. Last week we were outmatched just size-wise by Valley City, but I tell you what, our kids battled. It was 16-8 at halftime, and we were outsized on the offensive line by at least 60 pounds across the board, and our guys battled, and they were spent at halftime, and I kind of figured it was only a matter of time before their offensive line took over, and they did. About the early fourth quarter they took over, but we had our chances. We were able to move the ball offensively more than what we had the first 2 weeks. So I was pleased with that. And yeah, it's homecoming. I tell the guys, I said, have your fun throughout the week, but come ready to work, at 4:00 when we start practice. And I will say that the focus has been there. We're trying to keep the guys loose and have some fun with practice. I told them here this week against Northern Cass, we're not going to be outsized like how we have the last couple weeks. They've got some bigger kids on their offensive line, but it's not going to be every single one of them like how it was the last couple weeks. So, the kids are excited to get back on their home field, and hopefully we can come out with a homecoming victory on Friday night. Yeah,
absolutely. So on that Jaguars side, who are some players that you're kind of keying on, and the guys are sort of watching to be a threat? Make sure you got to stop offensively and go around defensively.
Well, their offensive line does a nice job with their zone blocking scheme. Number 4, their running back, Zeski, he's a shifty runner. He's got some speed. He's got some elusiveness. He can, by the looks of it, he can break one at any point. So we're going to have to contain him. They haven't thrown the ball as maybe like they've wanted to, but number 11, their quarterback, he looks like he is a capable thrower, and they've got some targets on the outside. The Springer kid, number 8, he's kind of a Swiss Army knife. They've got him at receiver. They have him run the ball a few times. He plays linebacker position. They bring him on some blitzes once in a while. So, they've got some athletes, and we're going to have to try to counter that with some things that we're going to try to do, and hopefully have some success against them.
Yeah, leading on to that a little bit, what direction do you think your team's going to have to go here on Friday as far as strategy to sort of put up a good fight and hopefully come away with a W on homecoming against the Jaguars?
Well, I would really love to see us establish a running game. We really haven't done that yet. We've had to move the ball through the air. And part of that is just because of our inexperience and our youth and our lack of size on the offensive line. So I'm hoping that we can open some holes for our running backs. But I'd love to see our running game going, and that if we're able to get that going, that's only going to open things up for a passing game. Jace has done a good job of getting rid of the ball quick. If our line can give him a little bit more time, we can establish some throws downfield and stretch the defense a little bit. But ultimately, and I've said this for many years, you win or lose up front, and if we can establish something up front, I'm hoping that we can have some success.
For sure. Well, excellent. Well, good. Look forward to this week's matchup, Coach. As always, appreciate you taking some time out of your evening again for this, and best of luck against Northern Cass, and we'll see you on Friday.
Awesome. Thank you very much for all you do, Bryce.
You bet. Thank you. That was Coach Eric Olson, the 21st year head coach for the Sargent County Bulldogs. You're listening to Your Live Event. We'll be back with more pregame show after a word from our sponsors.
Partnership is a way of life here in the Northland. It's about pitching in to help our neighbors, making lending decisions locally, honoring long-term commitments to farmers, Main Street businesses, teams, schools, and rural communities. We're more than just a bank. We're a community partner, working constantly and diligently to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. Bank North, always true.
The Bison Booster Club, an organization that is rooted in their support of the activities within the Milner Public School District and the City of Milner. They pride themselves on their community involvement in local donations to area projects and sponsorships to help make their community a pleasant place to reside. If you have any questions or are interested in becoming a Booster Club member, you can check out the Bison Booster Club on Facebook or talk with any of the existing members. The Bison Booster Club, helping make their community a better place to live. The Milner Public School District has a long history of academic, artistic, and athletic achievement and is proud of the programs and education environment offered. A fully accredited educational system, Milner Public School District operates 2 separate school buildings, including Sundale Colony School. Over 85%, that's right, 85% of the graduates of Milner High School attend some form of post-secondary educational institution. You can find more information on the Milner Public School District online at milner.k12.nd.us.
All right, back here in Milner, North Dakota, ahead of tonight's matchup between the Sargent County Bulldogs, who are 0-3 on the season, looking for their first victory, against the 1-2 Northern Cass Jaguars. Looking ahead here across the landscape of Week 4 in football across the state of North Dakota, there's a few games that are also on your live event that I'll bring up here tonight, as well as many others, both in the 11-man and 9-man divisions, as well as in the Minnesota side, on the northwest side of Minnesota. So first off, the number 2 ranked Ellendale Edgeley Column Rebels, they head over to Hillsboro to take on Hillsboro Central Valley. That game is on your live event. Another your live event game here, another Region 1 game in 11A. Valley City travels over to Lisbon. Another game that's happening tonight in Region 1 is Oaks is going to be making a trip up to Mayville to take on the Mayport CG Patriots. Other games at 11A going on across the state. The number 4 Velva Garrison Drake Animus is hosting Bottineau. Rugby goes to Grafton. Harvey Wells County plays Carrington. Killdeer hosts Dickinson Trinity. Southern McLean plays Shiloh Christian. And Langdon Area Edmore Munich is hosting Turtle Mountain. On the 9-man side here in North Dakota, Wyndmere Lidgerwood plays Larimore. Grant County Flasher hosts Linton HMB. And another game here that will be on your live event, New Rockford Cheyenne Maddock plays North Border. Hankinson also is hosting Hatton Northwood. South Border is hosting Lemoore Litchville Marion. And another game that you can catch here on your live event, Maple River is playing Richland. Some other games going on your live event on the Minnesota side as well. We've got Red Lake playing Mahnomen Waban. Roseau is taking on Warroad. And Crookston plays Polk County West. Another game in on the North Dakota side, I guess, that is being broadcast tonight on your live event. Fargo South is playing Fargo North in a Fargo City Showdown rivalry. Ahead of the game, you may have seen during one of the coaches' interviews, they were doing the coin toss, and Northern Cass did win the coin toss. They deferred, and so they will be kicking off to the Sargent County Bulldogs, kicking to the north. And for those of you at home, north is my right, your right, and south is left. Ahead of games, the game today, we've got beautiful conditions for a mid-September football game. Temperatures here in the low to mid-70s here at kickoff. Cool down a little bit here as the night goes on, but should be a beautiful night for football. No moisture really impacting the field. The field here at Gaynor Field in Milner looks to be in pretty good condition, so shouldn't have much for factors as far as that goes. Sitting here at 6:51 p.m., the clock up there shows 4 minutes remaining until they'll probably get going with some of the pregame festivities. As mentioned earlier, it is homecoming for the three schools of Milner, North Sargent, and Sargent Central, looking to pick up their home first victory of the season here on homecoming night. Looking across the landscape of North Dakota in that Division 11A1 and the 9-man football division as well. Go through a few of the leaders across the state. In the 11A division, coming in with 79 votes, Langdon area Munich is in the number 1 spot. Number 2 is taken by Ellendale Edgeley Cullum with 71 votes. Dickinson Trinity followed with 35 votes in third. And fourth, in the 4th place right now in the media poll, Velva Drake Animus Garrison and number 5 Park River area. Flipping over to the 9-man division, number 1 spot is taken by New Rockford Cheyenne Maddock with 79 points as well. Lemoore Litchville Marion at 2, Linton HMB 3, North Border 4, and Grant County Flasher at number 5. A few of the teams, I guess, that have got consecutive weeks that are in the top 5 in the 11-man division. Velva Drake Animus Garrison, they are at 14 weeks in a row at in the top 5 position. And on the 9-man side, Lemoore Litchville Marion 13 straight weeks, and New Rockford Cheyenne Maddock 12 straight weeks. Good to be noted there. A couple of very successful programs as they continue on with their 2025 season. So as mentioned earlier, I'll get the starting lineups kind of out of the way here before kickoff. So as mentioned earlier, Northern Cass did win the coin toss, and they chose to defer to Sargent County. So Sargent County will be coming out on offense first this year, and then on the defensive side, the Northern Cass Jaguars will be on the field to start the game. Looking ahead here at the Bulldogs offense, starting lineups go like this. At left tackle, a senior wearing number 79 will be Jacob Creech. A left guard, who's a sophomore wearing number 57, Anthony Furter. At center, the junior wearing number 50, Connor Olson. At right guard, the sophomore wearing number 51, Cole Fury. At right tackle, the sophomore wearing number 73, Luke Mund. And at the tight end positions, we have a senior wearing number 80, Logan Bope, and a sophomore wearing number 24, Harry Newstall. At the running back positions, we have junior wearing number 42, Charlie Hogness, as well as a senior wearing number 1, Ryan Ing. And, of course, at quarterback position, wearing number 10 for the Bulldogs, the senior, Jace Fury. On the defensive side for the Northern Cass Jaguars, at DN position, a sophomore wearing number 75, Aiden Dixon. The nose guard is wearing number 54, senior Caden Williams. Other DN position, a junior wearing number 65 is going to be Brody Vanderwall. At left outside linebacker wearing number 66 is a junior Luke Wolski. At the inside linebacker position, wearing number 4, a senior, Parker Zeski. And inside linebacker, wearing number 8, is Brooks Crockett. Coming down the line, at the right outside linebacker position, wearing number 5, a junior, Carter Grandallen. At left side cornerback, wearing number 19, junior, Jace Aronson. Left side cornerback, wearing number 24, Gabe Steele. At strong safety, wearing number 1, a junior, Hunter Kemet. And free safety, wearing number 2, is a senior, Chris Hoyland. We'll take a quick break here ahead of the game as they're doing the official starting lineups here for Sargent County. We'll be back in just a minute.
Data shows that half of the pills seized off the street by law enforcement contain a lethal dose of fentanyl. You never know when you might find yourself in the middle of an emergency. Why not be the reason a life can be saved? Narcan provides a safe and easy way to reverse the effects of an opioid in just minutes. You can pick up your Narcan today for free at your local public health office.
This message is brought to you by your local public health unit.
In Hope, North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities. There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota.
The Sargent Central Dollars for Scholars chapter is a nonprofit foundation that supports academic success in the community. The mission is to mobilize the community on behalf of post-secondary education success for the students. Dollars for Scholars chapters help hometown students achieve their educational goals by raising scholarship funds, establishing endowments, and more. For more information, scan the QR code on screen or stop by the Sargent Central School District. This game is brought to you in part by Brad and Rachel Hoisted family.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting what's important in life.
Get in touch with David Bergerman today at 701-724-6252.
The Bison Booster Club, an organization that is rooted in their support of the activities within the Milner Public School District and the City of Milner. They pride themselves on their community involvement in local donations to area projects and sponsorships to help make their community a pleasant place to reside. If you have any questions or are interested in becoming a Booster Club member, you can check out the Bison Booster Club on Facebook or talk with any of the existing members. The Bison Booster Club, helping make their community a better place to live.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Milner Grain understands that agriculture is your livelihood, and we're committed to providing you with the highest quality of services to meet your farming needs. Milner Grain has a passion for our community and the farmers we serve. Milner Grain is locally owned and operated. When you're looking for a partner in the field, look to Milner Grain. Call 701-427-5284 or check out Milner Grain's app with current up-to-date prices. Milner Grain is here to help you and your farm grow.
The Milner Public School District has a long history of academic, artistic, and athletic achievement and is proud of the programs and education environment offered. A fully accredited educational system, Milner Public School District operates 2 separate school buildings, including Sundale Colony School. Over 85%, that's right, 85% of the graduates of Milner High School attend some form of post-secondary educational institution. You can find more information on the Milner Public School District online at milner.k12.nd.us.
Buying and selling heavy equipment at purplewave.com saves time and money. We handle all of the details, including pictures, videos, marketing, titles, and payments.
It was almost immediately over the top with the customer service. I've just never ever experienced that before with any other auction service. They're constantly working for me as the seller, and I really like that.
Purple Wave Auction is straight, simple, sold.
All right, we're back here in Milner, about to kick off the game tonight between the Northern Cass Jaguars, who are visiting the Sargent County Bulldogs. Sargent County Bulldogs 0-3 on the season to start, and the Northern Cass Jaguars 1-2 on the season, as Loki Bierke, the senior wearing number 12, is set to kick off with Ryan Ing out deep, as well as Hans Hansen. And the ball's going to go to Hans Hansen. He'll pick it up. He's going to slip and fall, unfortunately. And the Bulldogs will be down pretty deep down into their own territory to start this game. And unless the sprinklers were on earlier today, the field conditions don't appear to be too wet. Milner and the park board has done a fantastic job keeping this field nice and green all summer long. So they're, the field, despite it not really having any moisture today in the last day, may have still been a little slippery just from the greenness of the grass. As Fury lines up in the shotgun, he's going to hand the ball off to Ing right away. And not going to get much on that play. And the Bulldogs started the ball. I don't believe I announced that initially. They were on the 10-yard line. And it looks like the Bulldogs maybe lost a yard there. That'll bring up 2nd and 11 for Sargent County to kick off this first drive of the game. As the Bulldogs break the huddle, they'll send 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side, and in the shotgun position with Ing back there with Fury. Fury takes the ball, comes to the near side. He's got a man over on the sideline, and he will connect with him. And the Bulldogs will pick up a decent gain on the play. We'll see where they end up spotting the ball. But Tristan Peterson with the grab on the near sideline, and they pick up 7 yards. It'll be 3rd and 4 on their first drive of the day. As the Bulldogs break, they'll have 1 receiver to the far side of the screen. That's Olafson. 1 to the near side. That's Peterson. And in the backfield, Olson. And they'll pitch the ball to him and stays on his feet, tries to go forward, and is able to get a few extra steps in there, but it may not be enough for the Bulldogs. And it looks like he may have gotten just a little bit past the line of scrimmage, so that'll bring up 4th and 4 for Sargent County on their opening drive. And it looks like Northern Cass, okay, they do send someone back deep. It looked like for a little while there, Gellner was not back there, but he was able to get as Bope kicks a nice high kick past the 50-yard line, and it's going to take a neutral bounce and be out at about the 48-yard line on the Northern Cass side of the field. And Northern Cass starting out with decent field position. No. Had a little wind gust come through here. We got one of the windows open that normally isn't, and I had a stat sheet go flying out the window, and a good Samaritan went down there and picked it up for me. Thank you, sir. As the Jaguars start out their first play of the game at the 48-yard line on their side of the field. They'll send 2 men in motion. And the ball is snapped and handed off, and the Bulldogs are there to take him down for a couple-yard loss. 3 or 4 Bulldogs on the play. And it looks like they'll push them back about 3 yards on the play. And Northern Cass will have a 2nd and 13. And Zeski was the ball carrier on the last play. As they'll line up, send another man in motion off to the right. The ball goes to Zeski again, and he's going to get those yards back and a little bit more. And Zeski will get to about the 50-yard line and will net. Maybe they'll place him closer to the 49 on the other side of the field. So we've got 3rd and 7 for the Jaguars. As the Jaguars line up, they've got a little bit of a spread out. 1 man to the right, 2 to the far side, 2 to the far side, 2 to the near side, and the pass will come across the field, and it is complete to Crockett. And Crockett will get a nice gain on the play, but it won't be quite enough for a first down. Well, it'll be a 4th and about 2 for the Jaguars. So 4th and 2 for the Jaguars on their first drive. Marked at the 43-yard line, and we've got a flag ahead of the game, and it looks like the Northern Cass side is cheering a bit. We may have an infraction on the defense. And we do, and that will give the Jaguars their first down of the game.
Outside will bring up the first down for the Jaguars.
And they move the clock again here. Keeps rolling at 8:15 to go in the first quarter. And Zeski in the backfield. Takes a snap, hands it to Zeski. Zeski goes off to the left side, cuts through a few men, and is able to get a first down and more to near the 20-yard line. And that'll be the first down for Northern Cass. So about 18 yards picked up on that play. The ball is going to be spotted at the 20.
Ball on the Bulldog 20.
As the Jaguars break the huddle, they've been kind of in this similar formation with 2 slot receivers on each side, wide receivers off to the right, and they give the ball to Zeski again on the left side, and he dances around, able to pick up a nice gain of right around 6 yards or so from my perspective here on the booth, and we'll call it 5 yards, and bringing up 2nd and 5 for the Jaguars. And on the offensive side here for the Jaguars, we didn't quite get to their starting lineup, but at that quarterback position wearing number 11 as he sends a man in motion is Hudson Reichel. And Reichel's going to take the ball, hand it off to Zeski again. And Zeski is able to get maybe a yard on the play, bringing up 3rd and a long 4 for the Jaguars. Clock running at 6:26 to go here in the first. And on the Northern Cass offense here at left tackle, wearing number 66 is Luke Walski. At left guard, wearing number 60 is Tristan Summerfield. And a junior at center, wearing number 65, Brody Vanderwall. And we'll get to the rest of the lineup here after the snap as kind of almost an option play. Quarterback keeper, but he is met right away by Sargent County. And that was Cole Fury on the stop. And it picks up virtually no yards on the play for that carry, that quarterback carry for Hudson Reichel. And they get to the line here pretty quickly on a 4th and 4. Similar formation as they've been before, more of a slot on the right side. 2 wide receivers off to the far left. The wide receivers over there that you can kind of see wearing number 2 on the far side. That is senior Chris Hoyland. And the ball will snap. And he's getting pressure by Bope and Newstill. And he rolls right, takes a chance, and does not. Does he not complete? Okay, he had gotten the ball. That was kind of a risky play. I would have thought that Reichel maybe would have taken that for a keeper, but throws the ball downfield. A nice throw for the rush situation that he was in. But the wide receiver couldn't quite hold on to the ball as he was hit almost immediately. And Sargent County will take over on downs at their own 14-yard line with 5:02 to go here in the first. As Tristan Olafson takes the play in to Fury, and they break the huddle. Sargent County with 1 wide receiver to the near side. That's Tristan Peterson. And 1 to the far side. And it's going to be a run up the middle. And they may lose a yard or 2 on the play.
Short loss on the play brings up 2nd.
And Ing on the carry. Lost about a yard on the play, bringing up 2nd and 11 for Sargent County. And the Bulldogs will send Olafson to the far side, as well as looks like they've got 2 wide receivers out to the right, 2 to the left. In the backfield is Hogness. As Fury steps back, throws the ball to the outside, and it's just outside of the reach of the intended receiver was Harriet Newstill. And that'll bring up 3rd and 11 for Sargent County. As Hogness comes in and Fury gets the play out from Olson. And 14 seconds on the game clock. As they break the huddle once again, we've got 2 wide receivers out to the near side, 2 to the far side. That's Ing in the backfield with Fury. As Fury takes the snap, drops back, is pressured. The ball over to Ing. Ing catches the ball, runs through a few defenders, lost the ball towards the end there, but he was already down. And that'll won't be a nice gain, but will not be enough to convert to a first down. About 5 yards short, so Sargent County likely in another punting position here as 3:46 ticks on the clock in the first quarter. And in the punting formation for Sargent County, that is Logan Bope, number 80 at the punter, and at the punt returner, I should say. On the Northern Cass side is going to be Howard Gellner, and Gellner misses. Gets a hand on the ball, but it appeared as if he was maybe running before he had it. Did not get it, but fortunately another Jaguar had fallen on the ball, and Northern Cass will keep the ball. A little bit of a lucky break there for the Jaguars as they will start this drive here at about the 43-yard line on their side of the field. So the rest of that starting lineup for Northern Cass went through the line positions. At the wide receiver positions, wearing number 1 is a junior, Hunter Kemet. The other wide receiver wearing number 10 is a sophomore, is Howard Gellner. At a slot receiver position wearing number 2, the senior Chris Hoyland. The slot back wearing number 8, the sophomore Brooks Crockett. And then Parker Zeski, of course, wearing number 4 in the backfield. You've seen run a few plays. And then your quarterback, the junior, who took the snap there and handed it off to Zeski. Quarterback Hudson Reichel is wearing number 11. And a no gain on that play as we will go to a 2nd and 10. Sargent County so far has done a pretty decent job on the season on the defensive side, able to make some stops here and there. The last home game that the Bulldogs had against Carrington had about a +5 turnover ratio, I believe. Still ended up losing that game, but kind of kept in it. And the offense just has had a little problems kind of getting going. Seen a few sheds of life here and there. As the Jaguars line up with 3 to the right, they send Zeski in motion to the right, but they're going to throw off to the left. And catching the ball on the far side is number 2 for the Jaguars, Christopher Hoyland. And Hoyland will pick up a nice gain on the play. Won't be enough for a first down, but it'll bring them a little bit closer to a 3rd and short situation. We'll call it a 3rd and 1, long 1 yard for the Jaguars. And we will see what the Jaguars have in store here on this 3rd and short as they wish to keep this drive alive here late in the first quarter. And they've got 2 receivers off to the far side. They'll send a man in motion to the left and hand the ball off to Zeski, and I do not think he will get it. That will leave the Northern Cass Jaguars in a 4th and short situation. And Yoakum on the stop, able to keep Zeski from advancing the ball any further than the line of scrimmage. And the Bulldogs have a 4th and 1 situation here to defend against right at the middle of the field. I imagine the Jaguars will keep the offense on the field and see if they can convert. And it appears that they will, as they've got more of a slot position here on the right, and a wide receiver to the right. He'll keep it, and the Bulldogs are right there. A couple of Bulldogs on the play. Appears to be Newstall and Hogness able to put a stop to the Jaguars as Zeski is unable, I'm sorry, not Zeski, the quarterback keeper there, Hudson Reichel, not able to convert on that 4th and 1, and the Bulldogs will take over a yard from midfield on their side, and that'll be 1st and 10, Sargent County. Scoreboard here, as you can see on the bottom. I'm used to announcing the times when we're over in Gwinner. There's no time, but over here in Milner, we've got a fancy little device that is able to kind of hook up with the time and the score in live action. So I'll let you watch that as Fury takes the ball, pump fake, throws the ball deep downfield, and he's got a man, but it's just over the hands of Tristan Peterson. And that was a well-designed play. Sargent County was he was open. The pump fake worked to kind of get the defender off of Peterson just a little bit, but not able to quite connect on that one. Needed about another couple of feet, and that one would have been 6 easy. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 as Bope comes off the field. On the far side of the field, Zaben Olofsson, Peterson here on the near side, as well as Eli Olson, and he'll go in motion. They'll give the ball to Olson, and there are Jaguars back there in the backfield, but Olson will push through and not able to get back to the original line of scrimmage. He'll lose a handful of yards on that play, and that'll bring up 3rd and long for the Bulldogs. Maybe 3rd and 13, 3rd and 14 situation for Sargent County as the clock ticks down in the first quarter here in Milner. Making a few substitutions here as Eli Olson comes on out. Logan Bope comes on in. And the Bulldogs only have 7 seconds left to get this snap off. And Fury does as he drops back, pumps fakes, looks down the middle, and he takes the run for it, and he gets back maybe about 4 yards on the play, and that'll bring up a 4th and 9 situation here as we end the first quarter here in Milner. Score is still knotted up at zeros with the visiting Northern Cass Jaguars 0, the homecoming team, the Sargent County Bulldogs, also with 0. And we'll be back right here at midfield. They'll flip around, and we'll check back in after a word from our sponsors.
Teens are faced with tough decisions all the time, and parents aren't always there when it happens. But that doesn't mean they can't influence their kids to make the right choice, because making that right choice is easier when the wrong one isn't an option. When your teen faces peer pressure, what you give them access to can make all the difference. This message is brought to you by your local public health unit.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good!
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year,
back here in Milner at Gaynor Field to begin the second quarter. Bulldogs have got the ball right at midfield. They switch now heading north. That is to your right. Fury takes the ball, goes downfield, and he's got Bope. And he had a well-defended defender, I guess, on the play. That was Chris Hoyland. And the Bulldogs do not convert on that 4th and long. So the ball will stay right here at midfield, and the Jaguars will get the ball back as neither team able to put some points into the end zone so far here in the first quarter and to begin the second. And right at midfield, Jaguars have had good field position here this evening. Bulldogs have been able to pick up some yards, get a few first downs. The Jaguars have been doing the same. Neither team able to really capitalize, turning the ball over on downs with a punt situation as well for Sargent County. But the Bulldogs' defense kind of set up as the Jaguars take the ball. They'll hand it off to Geske, and he'll cut up on the left side, and he'll get a first down and more before he's pushed out of bounds by Fury. And Zeske will keep the chains rolling. It looks like they'll spot him out of bounds right around the, hard to see where they've got the ball, maybe right around the 35-yard line. So 1st and 10. Slot receiver to the right, wide receiver to the right, 2 off to the left, and quarterback will roll out to the right. He's got room and sails the ball downfield, and he's got a man. Chris Hoyland with the snag, advancing the ball down deep into Bulldog territory, and that'll be a 1st and goal, I believe, for, we'll see where they spot him at. The ball right around the 5-yard line, so we've got 1st and goal for the Jaguars. Beautiful pass on the offensive side here for the Jaguars. Once again, that quarterback, Hudson Reichel, with a good connection downfield to Chris Hoyland. And the Jaguars are knocking on the end zone door here as Bulldog defense looks to tighten up a bit. Takes the snap. He'll hand the ball off to Zeske onto the left side. And minimal gain, if any, on the play. Maybe a half a yard. And we'll have the ball right around, still around about the 5-yard line, bringing up 2nd and goal for Northern Cass. As the Jaguars set up, they'll send a man in motion. That's Hoyland who caught that last pass. And then they'll fake the handoff to Zeski. And it's a quarterback keeper all the way to the corner of the end zone. And that'll be 6 points on the board for the junior quarterback, Hudson Reichel, as Reichel sneaks in with 10:34 to go in the second quarter, giving the first points of the game to Northern Cass. And it appears to be that the Jaguars will go for the 2-point conversion, as they'll send a man in motion. That's Crockett off to the right and take the snap, and he's going to roll around, a quarterback keeper to the right, but he pitches it as an option over to Zeski, but Zeski not able to hold on to the ball, and that will be a failed 2-point conversion for the Northern Cass Jaguars. So as of this moment at 10:34 to go, Northern Cass 0, Northern Cass 6, Sargent County 0. We'll be back in a minute.
At yourliveevent.com.
Fall is here, and that means harvest will ramp up quickly. How did your planter do this spring? Did you have the correct down pressure? Was your singulation spot on? Did you need row cleaners or a better closing system? This is Chris from Agassiz Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer, and we are here to help. Discounts, 0% financing, and $50 per row rebates on most all systems will give you the tools to improve your planter pass. Give us a call at 701-636-2119 or visit planterdoc.com. Have a safe and profitable harvest.
Anderson Seed Farms Incorporated is proud to announce its new partnership with AP Select Seed by AgroPartners. AP Select offers the latest traits and genetics in both corn and soybeans. They're a family-owned company that believes in fair pricing along with unmatched customer support that makes them truly better by choice. Anderson Seed Farms is a certified seed conditioning plant that grows, conditions, and sells Westbred spring wheat seed, which was the top-growing spring wheat in North Dakota last year. Contact Anderson Seed Farms in Foreman at Anderson Seed.
And back here at Gaynor Field, it wasn't quite set as the Jaguars kicked the ball off, but it doesn't look like the officiating crew was quite ready yet, so they will retry that one as Northern Cass sets up to kick off. That is Loki Bierke, number 12, the senior, kicking the ball off. And for the Bulldogs side, it looks like we've got back deep is Ryan Ing wearing number 1 and Hans Hansen wearing number 16. And the ball is a nice deep kick fielded inside the 20-yard line by Ing as he runs to the right, then switches to go up middle, but he's got a little bit of room. Ing runs around the outside to the left, and he's got a few men to beat. And before the Jaguars take him out across the 40-yard line into Jaguar territory. Only a couple of touchdowns scored this year for the Bulldogs, one of which was a kickoff return by Ryan Ing in the first week against Park River. And he shows the Jaguars how dangerous he can be when he's got a little bit of open field. And Ing gets the ball. Looks like they will may have went out of bounds probably around the 42-yard line. So that's where we'll place him there. And that's where Sargent County will begin their drive with a 1st and 10. As the Bulldogs this time will line up in more of an I formation with one receiver to the far side, one to the near side, and they'll hand the ball off to Hogness up the middle, and he'll dive forward and able to pick up a maybe short gain on the play, less than a yard, maybe right around a yard, and we'll call it 2nd and 9 for Sargent County. As Hogness comes out, and we've got Ing in the backfield with Newstall and Olafson off to our near side. And the ball will go over to Newstall as he's met almost immediately by a Jaguar. Right there is Hunter Kemet on the tackle for loss. The Sargent County will lose maybe 2 yards on the play, and that'll bring up 3rd and 11 for the Bulldogs. So Sargent County battling a lot of third and long situations here so far this season. They've got another one here with 9:12 to go in the second quarter as the ball is snapped and Fury drops back, looks downfield, and they're going to throw a flag. Peterson was rocked before he was able to get downfield. And on the defensive side, I know he's kind of kicking himself a little bit there, right there. Gabriel Steele, the cornerback position, wearing number 24, with the offense on the play, and that'll give the Bulldogs a first down. And, boy, that ball probably would have been incomplete from my standpoint here. It looked to be a little bit long, but regardless, it was close enough, and it was kind of a hard enough sort of hit to Peterson that you can't quite not call that one. And Sargent County will get a first down, and they'll have the ball right around the 32-yard line, on the 28-yard line of the Jaguars side of the field as they send Newstall in motion, and a fake pitch to him as Fury keeps the ball off to the right, and he's met right away on the play there. Carter Grandalin, and it appears that Brody Vanderwall was also in on that play, and the Bulldogs will lose about 4, bringing up a 2nd and 14 for Sargent County. As the Bulldogs line up, and Fury gets the ball, he'll roll off to the left, looking for somebody, and isn't able to get the ball off. Looks like it could have been deflected there on the defense by Parker Zeski, and that'll bring up a third down and long situation for Sargent County, and it'll be about a third and 13, third and 14 for the Bulldogs. As Sargent County breaks the huddle, they'll bring a pack of wide receivers off here to the near side on the short side of the field with the lone wide receiver off to the left. That is Peterson, and they'll throw the ball over to Peterson, and it hits his hands as he sort of dives forward a little bit ahead of him, but he did get both hands on the ball, not quite able to hold on to it. Would have been a tough catch to make anyway. And we'll have a 4th and 14 situation here for Sargent County. Ball at around the 32-yard line, and 4-down territory for Coach Olson as the Bulldogs keep their men on the field. And we'll have a wide receiver off to the right here. That's Zabin Olafson, 3 off to the left. And Fury pump fakes and is able to get away from some pressure, throws the ball deep downfield, and that's Olafson, and the ball is caught, and that looks to be a touchdown for Sargent County. Sargent County's first offensive touchdown of the season was sure a beaut as Jace Fury is able to escape some trouble in the backfield, and he finds Olafson down right at the end zone, caught it right in the corner, and able to put both feet down. Beautiful play by both Fury and Olafson, as Sargent County gets 6 on the board, and with 8:05 to go in the second quarter. And Olafson had to use a little athleticism there in the end zone. He was really well defended. It was right kind of on the goal line, maybe a yard or so before, and was able to kind of keep the ball in his hands. And Fury will take the snap. He'll keep the ball, run it up the middle, and he gets in for the 2-point conversion. And Sargent County with their first lead of the season here against the Northern Cass Jaguars with 8:05 to go. Fury takes the ball in for 2. And we'll be back here in just a minute after a word from our sponsors.
Partnership is a way of life here in the Northland. It's about pitching in to help our neighbors, making lending decisions locally, honoring long-term commitments to farmers, Main Street businesses, teams, schools, and rural communities. We're more than just a bank. We're a community partner, working constantly and diligently to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. Bank North, always true.
The Bison Booster Club, an organization that is rooted in their support of the activities within the Milner Public School District and the City of Milner. They pride themselves on their community involvement in local donations to area projects and sponsorships to help make their community a pleasant place to reside. If you have any questions or are interested in becoming a Booster Club member, you can check out the Bison Booster Club on Facebook or talk with any of the existing members. The Bison Booster Club, helping make their community a better place to live. The Milner Public School District has a long history of academic, artistic, and athletic achievement and is proud of the program.
And back here in Milner, as the Bulldogs kick the ball off, it's fielded right around the 20-yard line by Howard Gellner, and Gellner is able to get a little bit of room off to the right side, gets near midfield for a nice kick return for Gellner. And they'll have the ball in a good position. We'll see where they end up spotting it. It looks like he was probably pushed out of bounds near midfield, but looks like they'll spot him at right around the 48-yard line.
First and 10, Jaguars from their own 48-yard line.
So Sargent County able to string together a successful drive. I believe 7 plays on that one. Had a little bit of help, and on that fourth and a very long situation, Jace Fury able to scramble away and off to the near side here. Find Olafson in the end zone. Olafson with a great athletic catch in the corner and able to get his feet down as the first play here ran by the Jaguars. The Bulldogs stopped right away. And it looks like Luke Mund was in there right away as Zeski had nowhere to go and ran into a brick wall there with Luke Mund, the sophomore wearing number 73 for the Bulldogs. Will bring up 2nd and 11 for the Jaguars with the clock keeping on running with 7:33 here to go in the second quarter. And Jaguars once again kind of spreading it a little bit. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Lone man in the backfield is Zeski as the quarterback steps downfield to throw it, and he's got a man right around the 20-yard line, and he's going to dive in the end zone for a touchdown. Brooks Crockett, the sophomore wearing number 8, connects on that ball thrown from Hudson Reichel, and the Northern Cass Jaguars fire right back and score a 52-yard touchdown. And now we've got a score of 12-8 with Northern Cass on top. And that 52-yard connection flipped the game right there a little bit. Sargent County with a little momentum after getting that touchdown. But Northern Cass answers right back. And looks like they'll go for 2 here to try and make it a 14-8 lead. As once again, they really spread things out here. Lone man in the backfield is that quarterback, Reichel. And Reichel takes a snap, looks off to his right, finds a man, and is able to get it. And once again, that's Brooks Crockett catching the ball for the Jaguars with a successful 2-point conversion for Northern Cass, putting them ahead 14-8 against Sargent County with 7:06 to go in the second quarter. We'll be back in a minute.
Environment offered, a fully accredited educational system. Milner Public School District operates 2 separate school buildings, including Sundale Colony School. Over 85%, that's right, 85% of the graduates of Milner High School attend some form of post-secondary educational institution. You can find more information on the Milner Public School District online at milner.k12.nd.us.
Data shows that half of the pills seized off the street by law enforcement contain a lethal dose of fentanyl. You never know when you might find yourself in the middle of an emergency. Why not be the reason a life can be saved? Narcan provides a safe and easy way to reverse the effects of an opioid in just minutes. You can pick up your Narcan today for free at your local public health office.
This message is brought to you by your local public health unit.
All right, back here in Milner. So far, a pretty good game here going on for the Sargent County's homecoming game as the Northern Cass Jaguars coming down the road to visit the Bulldogs. Northern Cass 1-2 on the season so far. Sargent County looking for their first win at 0-3. And nice 52-yard connection here for the Jaguars as they kick it off down to the Bulldogs, and Tristan Peterson picks the ball up at around the 31-yard line and is able to snake through, and should have been down maybe a few yards prior to that, but was able to keep on his feet, fake out a few guys, and bring the ball up close to the 44-yard line, and that's where Sargent County will begin. Both teams, for the most part, having pretty good field position here to start out a lot of their drives, on the exception of one early on in the first. But both teams with opportunities to score, and both teams able to get on the scoreboard here in the first half. As Sargent County will spread the ball out here. That's Neustel and Olofsson to our near side, and Peterson and Bope to the far side. The lone back is Ryan Ing, and they'll hand the ball off to him onto the left side, and the Jaguars are there right away. They may have tracked him down earlier. He looked like he had gotten up, but he may have had a knee down. That was Brody Vanderwall in the backfield that is able to get Ing down for a loss of about 4 yards. The Bulldogs will have second and 14 with the ball right around the, looks like it's placed around the 40-yard line. And the Bulldogs spreading things out again. Once again, they'll put Neustel in motion, but we have a flag before the play is snapped. And the Jaguars are cheering a little bit. We'll see what the call is, but all signs sort of indicate that the ball will come back. And they called it a snap infraction, legal procedure of some sort. And that ball will go back 5 yards, and it'll be second and 19 for Sargent County. After starting with a pretty decent field position on a nice return there by Peterson to bring the ball to the 44, the Bulldogs are now backed up to the 35-yard line, and they'll send Neustel in motion as Fury drops back, has to scramble away with a little bit of pressure, looks downfield, and just short of Olofsson again. And the ball, Olofsson looked like he had to kind of come back towards it to try and get it. Could not quite connect, and we'll have 3rd and a mile for Sargent County here with 6:07 to go in the second quarter. So the Bulldogs will come up to the line. It looks like Peterson and Fury having a little chat before he gets up to the line. They've only got 5 seconds to snap the ball if they can get it off. Fury does get the ball off, scrolls around to his right side looking for someone, and is forced out of bounds. And it looks like he probably did not even get to the original line of scrimmage. That pushed him back maybe another yard or so, bringing up 4th and 20 for Sargent County. Sargent County hoping to be able to strike back after the strike back that Northern Cass performed on them, but will not be the case here. They will need to punt the ball away. He may have even lost a few more yards on here. The clock up there is showing 4th and 22, and from my vantage point, it looks like that could be. So Bope takes the snap, punts the ball. It's low, and they'll let it roll as Gellner steps aside, and it'll be inside the 30-yard line where the Jaguars will take over with 5:52 to go in the first half. We'll keep on air here through the break. Once again here, we are up in the Stock Growers Bank broadcast booth here this week. And as always here for Sargent County football games, Stock Growers Bank is your small town bank and big time partner with Stock Growers Bank and their mobile app. Experience banking at your fingertips. Anytime, anywhere, bank near so you can go far with Stock Growers Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. So they'll spot the ball right around the 27-yard line, where the Jaguars will start off their drive as the ball is handed off to Jeske and is able to pick up a little something there. And he's brought down pretty quickly, though, by the Bulldogs. That was Tristan Peterson on the stop. Brings up about 3 to 4 yards, actually, on the play. Bringing up, we'll call it 2nd and 7 for the Jaguars. As they'll break the huddle here, the Jaguars will have 3 guys off to the far side, and Zeske in the backfield, and the ball goes over. That is number 2, Chris Hoyland. He connects with, is able to get a little bit past the line of scrimmage, maybe picks up a yard or 2 on the play. Looks like he maybe got 2, and we'll be sitting with a 3rd and 4 situation for the Jaguars. Reichel able to connect with his wide receivers here pretty well tonight. Most of his throws have been pretty well on target, and is able to find his receivers. That time it was Hoyland, able to get a few more yards to get it a little closer for a 3rd down situation. As the Jags will line up, they'll split the guys out. They'll have 2 wide receivers off to the left and 2 to the right. And Zeske will be in the backfield as the ball gets thrown, and it is caught once again. Brooks Crockett able to get downfield, and I think they'll maybe spot him out of bounds. He's able to get that 1st down, though, but a little tough to see there. We've got a little bit of baseball field sand. Kind of hard to tell from this vantage point, I guess, where that out-of-bounds line was, but he is able to get to the 1st down marker and passed it a little bit here with the ball down at about the 42-yard line. And a little movement, and the flag will be thrown. We'll see if it was the offense that flinched. I didn't quite see that. Thought it maybe had been the defensive encroachment, but we will find out here. And it is encroachment on the defense, so they will move the ball forward 5 yards on the play. And it'll be 1st and 5 for the Jaguars. And it looks like the marker there on the chain gang groove says 2nd down, if you can see it from here, but it is 1st down.
Crockett on the reception, 1st down, Jaguars.
And he'll connect with Crockett on the far side, and that'll be a 1st down. They'll get the ball to right around the 46-yard line. Another connection between the two. Crockett has been quite a valuable receiver here tonight for Reichel. So 1st and 10 from the 40, they're going to call it 46-yard line. And they'll spread things out a little bit. We've got trips here to the near side. And to the far side, 1 receiver. Zeske in the backfield as Reichel throws the ball to his intended receiver. That was Chris Hoyland. And the Bulldogs will have a defense here at 2nd and 10. We'll try to keep the Jaguars from getting any farther here, widening their lead before halftime. If you can remember, the Jaguars won the toss and chose to defer to Sargent County, so they will be getting the ball back again. So another score here would kind of help widen the gap there for them. But there's pressure, and the ball is thrown over the top of Zeske. And good pressure on the defense there. Looked like that was number 73 again, Luke Mund in on the play, applying some good pressure to Reichel. And incomplete, so they'll have 3rd and 10 with 3:34 to go here in the 1st quarter. Not 1st quarter, 1st half. 1st half. And the Jaguars again spreading things out. They've got 3 wide receivers off to the near side. as Reichel throws the ball downfield, and it goes right through the hands of Ryan Ing. He was right there as he turned his head, could not hold on to the ball. Would have been a big interception for Sargent County, but it's still 4th and 10 here for the Jaguars, and we'll see what they decide to do on this play. If they want to punt it away, it looks like they're kind of lined up in a punt formation. The Bulldogs are ready for it with Ing in the backfield, back deep, I should say, as well as Hans Hansen. And the ball is punted away. Nice high kick, but a little short. And the ball is caught, and it's Hans Hansen on the right side, but he sneaks around. Sorry, he was on the left, sneaks around to the right side. He's got some room, and he's crossed the 50-yard line with some good blocking downfield as he cuts up and is able to get almost to the 30-yard line. Sargent County takes a good special teams play here with 3:11 to go in the first half, and Bulldogs trying to answer back and get this game either knotted up or themselves on top before the second half. And the Jaguars once again will receive the ball at the end of at the beginning of the second half. So looks like they'll mark the ball down right around the 32 or 3 yard line. 33-yard line looks like it's the call, as the Bulldogs have 2 off to the left, 2 to the right, 1 in the backfield. That's Ing as Fury drops back, and the ball is intercepted. And once again, number 8, Brooks Crockett, is going to take it downfield, and he does step out of bounds right around the 39-yard line on the other side of the field. Crockett seems to be all over the field here, whether he is catching balls for his side of the team or picking off a ball here from Jace Fury. He was right there, read that play perfectly, and was able to get the ball across midfield. And with 3:03 to go, the ball is down at the 30. Let's see, they might move it. Nope, he's got it right there at the 39. And the Jaguars lining up here. They had 2 wide receivers that they had on the right side here, flipped them over to the left or the near side, and they've got 3 guys there in the backfield with Reichel, Crockett, and Zeski. And he's got time, throws the ball deep downfield, and is caught once again on the far side, and that is Crockett able to nail that ball right in, and the Jaguars have converted again, another first down, another long play. Looks like they'll mark the ball within the 20-yard line. Looks like they'll mark it right around the 18, and with 2:44 to go and rolling, the Jaguars once again are knocking on the door of that end zone before the end of the first half. Near side receiver that you see here is Hunter Kimmett, and motion in the backfield as quarterback keeper. Looks like he was maybe going to fake it, but Reichel kept the ball and was able to pick up 3 yards on the play, bringing up 2nd and 7. And that clock keeps ticking away here with 1:55 to go. Haven't had either team call a timeout yet this whole first half. But the Jaguars not going to call one. Going to try to get this clock down as far as they can as they hand the ball off to Zeski onto the right side. Zeski able to pick up some good yardage. Not sure if he ended up getting to the first down marker or not. Hard to tell from here, but it looks like he'll be a little short. They'll mark that one maybe about 2 yards short, two long yards, maybe 3 yards short. So we'll have a 3rd and short situation here as the clock stops, as he was ran out of bounds, and saving their timeouts. They've got them all left here, so if they need to use them, they certainly can. No problem there. If Sargent County gets the ball back, they have all of their timeouts as well. And they're going to pack everything in pretty tight here as they'll hand the ball off to Zeski off to the right. Makes a couple of men miss, and he's going to get down close into the within the 5-yard line, I would say, from here. They'll mark him down. They'll mark him down probably around the, I'm hearing 3 to my left is the commentary, and that looks to be pretty accurate. Either which way, 1st and goal with 1:13 to go here in the first half. They'll have 3 wide receivers off to the near side here. And Zeski in the backfield with Reichel. Reichel steps back, got some time, throws the ball down into the end zone and through the hands of the intended receiver, but Jace Fury was there. The intended receiver, Carter Grandallen, not able to hold on to the ball, and good defensive play there. Quarterback Reichel, he's had some time there in the backfield to be able to really see his wide receivers develop some plays. Bulldogs have done a good job sort of pressuring him all night as well, but kind of able to hold them to their own a little bit. And once again, they're kind of in a tight formation here with almost 3 sort of tight left slot receivers. And they're going to give the ball to Zeski, and Zeski's going to get into the end zone for a touchdown, Northern Cass Jaguars, as Zeski punches it in from 3 yards, extending their lead to 8. Extending their lead from to 8 to 20 here with 54 seconds to go. And the Jaguars likely here going for 2 as spreading things out a little bit more on this 2-point conversion as well. They've got trips off to the right side and a single lone receiver, that's Crockett, to the left. And they're going to do an option pitch off to Zeski. And Zeski is able to get in and convert for 2 more points. So here we are with 54 seconds to go left in the half. The Northern Cass Jaguars have the lead 22-8 over Sargent County. We'll be back in a minute.
In Hope, North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities. There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota.
The Sargent Central Dollars for Scholars chapter is a nonprofit foundation that supports academic success in the community. The mission is to mobilize the community on behalf of post-secondary education success for the students. Dollars for Scholars chapters help hometown students achieve their educational goals by raising scholarship funds, establishing endowments, and more. For more information, scan the QR code on screen or stop by the Sargent Central School District. This game is brought to you in part by Brad and Rachel Hoisted family.
Back here at Gaynor Field with 54 seconds to go. And Northern Cass kicks it off. And right up the middle, Ryan Ing takes the ball and almost looked like it could have been a kind of almost a horse collar or around the neck tackle there.
First and 10 Bulldogs.
And the Bulldogs will start with the ball at the 47-yard line, 48 seconds to go. And Bulldogs will start here at the 47. And Fury will roll off to the left, looking for somebody, and able to get rid of the ball. And the ball is caught. Was it caught in bounds? And it doesn't look like he was able to catch that ball in bounds, but Peterson with a good effort on trying to retain that one in after a couple of tips. 40 seconds to go here, 2nd and 10. Ball on the 47-yard line on the Sargent County side of the field. And coming up here after, as we get to the halftime, we'll keep you updated on what the other scores are going on around North Dakota football in Class 9, in 9-man, as well as 11, and across the state, as Fury will take the snap and looking for somebody, scrambling, and tries to get the ball off to Newstall, but that ball is batted down. A couple of defenders there, both for the Jaguars. Looks like number 81, Noah Christensen, was likely the one to get a hand on that one, and incomplete. No time going off on the field. So there was an illegal man downfield on the that last play, and the Jaguars declined that to give Sargent County one last down here. But 3rd and 10 as Fury is rushed, and he's got to get rid of the ball, and he does. And they're going to call that a pass. Looks like he had an arm extended forward as the official is signaling that, but it'll be 4th down and 10 to go. Ball still at the original line of scrimmage here for Sargent County at the 47. 25 seconds to go for the first half. And Sargent County, it looks like they will boot it away here on 4th and 10, just before midfield at the 47. And Bope will take it, and he'll get a nice high punt. It goes a decent yardage, and nobody for Northern Cass is really back there to do anything. And the Bulldogs will let it go, and the clock will stop at 14 seconds. And we'll be back here in just a minute.
Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting, with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
In times like these, it's good to know.
So back here in Milner, and it looks like Reichel will take a knee and bring this thing into halftime. So here we go. Halftime here in Milner. The score is Northern Cass 22, Sargent County 8. We'll be back here in just a minute to kind of recap the scores that have happened here in Milner, and some scores that are also going on around North Dakota football and other games that are on your live event. This is Bryce Hogness here in the Stock Growers booth for your live event. We'll be back here in just a minute.
It's where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting what's important in life.
Get in touch with David Bergerman today at 701-724-6252.
The Bison Booster Club, an organization that is rooted in their support of the activities within the Milner Public School District and the City of Milner. They pride themselves on their community involvement in local donations to area projects and sponsorships to help make their community a pleasant place to reside. If you have any questions or are interested in becoming a Booster Club member, you can check out the Bison Booster Club on Facebook or talk with any of the existing members. The Bison Booster Club, helping make their community a better place to live.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Milner Grain understands that agriculture is your livelihood, and we're committed to providing you with the highest quality of services to meet your farming needs. Milner Grain has a passion for our community and the farmers we serve. Milner Grain is locally owned and operated. When you're looking for a partner in the field, look to Milner Grain. Call 701-427-5284 or check out Milner Grain's app with current up-to-date prices. Milner Grain is here to help you and your farm grow.
The Milner Public School District has a long history of academic, artistic, and athletic achievement and is proud of the programs and education environment offered. A fully accredited educational system, Milner Public School District operates 2 separate school buildings, including Sundale Colony School. Over 85%, that's right, 85% of the graduates of Milner High School attend some form of post-secondary educational institution. You can find more information on the Milner Public School District online at milner.k12.nd.us.
Buying and selling heavy equipment at purplewave.com saves time and money. We handle all of the details, including pictures, videos, marketing, titles, and payments.
It was almost immediately over the top with the customer service. I've just never ever experienced that before with any other auction service. They're constantly working for me as the seller, and I really like that.
Purple Wave Auction is straight, simple, sold.
Teens are faced with tough decisions all the time, and parents aren't always there when it happens. But that doesn't mean they can't influence their kids to make the right choice, because making that right choice is easier when the wrong one isn't an option. When your teen faces peer pressure, what you give them access to can make all the difference. This message is brought to you by your local public health unit.
All right, back here at Gaynor Field in Milner, North Dakota. As said earlier, it is homecoming week for the three schools that make up Sargent County. That is Milner, North Sargent, and Sargent Central. As you can kind of see in the background, the parade is going about the field and saying hi to the crowd, representing each of their respective schools. But the football game, as you are all here to watch tonight, as you can see on the board, Northern Cass has a 22-8 edge over Sargent County here at halftime. So how did we get here? Well, everything happened in the second quarter. With 10:34 to go in the second quarter, Northern Cass had a run play. The quarterback, Reichel, was able to sneak in for 5 yards, giving them the 6-0 lead after the failed 2-point conversion. And Sargent County answered right back with 8:05 to go. And it was a 4th and long situation for Sargent County down at the 32-yard line. Jace Fury was able to scramble away and find Olafson for a really great connection, athletic catch, and on a 4th down play for 32 yards. And Fury ran it in for the 2-point conversion, bringing the score 6-8 in favor of Sargent County. And on the following drive, Crockett was found deep downfield by a beautiful pass by Reichel to give him a 52-yard pass and running score with 7:06 to go in the second quarter. And a pass to Crockett, again on the 2-point conversion, gave the Northern Cass Jaguars a 14-8 advantage. And then finally, with 54 seconds to go, Northern Cass had the ball, drove downfield to the 3-yard line where Zeski punched it in to give him 6 more points. And then Zeski once again took the ball in on that 2-point conversion. And that is where we sit for a score of 22-8 here at halftime of this contest. Now, looking around the landscape of football in North Dakota and a few Minnesota scores as well, we'll start off in the 9-man division. So a few scoring updates that we do have here so far. Looking at the Wyndmere-Lidgerwood game, playing against Larimore, Wyndmere-Lidgerwood has a 37-0 lead at half. Napoleon Gackle-Streeter has defeated Richardson Taylor Hebron 22-8, and Kenmere Bowbells Burke Central is on top of TGU 24-12. Linton right now knotted all up with Grant County Flasher 6-6 with 1 minute left to go in the first half. Griggs Benkota has the advantage over Enderlin right now, 34-6, with about a minute left to go in the half as well. West Hope Newburgh Glenburn is playing Alexander, and they have a 24-20 lead at half as well. The number 1 ranked New Rockford Cheyenne Maddock is playing against North Border with the North Border has got is right now in 4th, I guess, for the standings. But New Rockford Cheyenne a little bit too much for them right now at the end of the first half. They've got a 24-0 lead. And looking over to our east a little bit, Hankinson is hosting Hatton Northwood right now. That score with even with 5 minutes left to go in the first. I'm not sure if that is the correct timing, but the score is 46-20. The number 2 ranked Lemoore Litchville Marion has got a 28-7 lead over South Border at half as well. North Prairie has got a 4-point lead right now, 28-24 over Nelson County, and Maple River, another game on your live event, has got a 31-12 advantage over Richland. Looking over at 11-man football in the Class A division, outside of this game here, Hillsboro Central Valley is playing Ellendale Edgeley Column. Right now they are knotted up at zeros at the end of the first half. Lisbon has a 6-0 lead over Valley City. Oaks is on top of Mayport CG currently, 15-12. Harvey Wells County and Carrington playing right now. Harvey Wells County's got 7 on the board. Carrington 6. And Langdon area Edmore Munich is on top of Turtle Mountain, 27-0. And one other score here I'd like to report to you. Park River area, they've got the number 5 ranking right now in the state. They've got an 8-6 lead over Thompson right now at the beginning of the third quarter. In the AA division, Grand Forks Central is on top of Dickinson 44-7. Devils Lake has defeated Wahpeton 34-28. That Fargo North, Fargo South game that is also on your live event. Fargo North has a 21-7 lead right now at the end of the first half. And Central Cass on top of Jamestown 14-12. Kindred also in that division here this year. Kindred's got the 20-0 advantage over Bismarck St. Mary's. Minot North is on top of Grand Forks Red River 21-6 at the end of the first half. And in the AAA division, a few scores to report there. Let's see if I can get those guys up.
1-2, mic check. 1-2.
Couple scores in there. Bismarck Century on top of West Fargo Cheyenne 14-7. Watford City is on top of Williston 34-6. Fargo Davies on top of Bismarck Legacy 21-14. West Fargo Horace over Mandan right now 28-14 with 10 minutes left to go in the game. And Shanley has a lead right now over Bismarck 21-14. We will take a quick break here, and we'll be back with second half action right here in Milner. We are in the gateway to the grasslands right here in Milner, North Dakota at Gaynor Field, where the Sargent County Bulldogs have their homecoming, and they are hosting Northern Cass, who has the advantage right now, 22-8. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the 3-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Fall is here, and that means harvest will ramp up quickly. How did your planter do this spring? Did you have the correct down pressure? Was your singulation spot on? Did you need row cleaners or a better closing system? This is Chris from Agassiz Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer, and we are here to help. Discounts, 0% financing, and $50 per row rebates on most all systems will give you the tools to improve your planter pass. Give us a call at 701-636-2119 or visit planterdoc.com. Have a safe and profitable harvest.
Anderson Seed Farms Incorporated is proud to announce its new partnership with AP Select Seed by AgroPartners. AP Select offers the latest traits and genetics in both corn and soybeans. They're a family-owned company that believes in fair pricing along with unmatched customer support that makes them truly better by choice. Anderson Seed Farms is a certified seed conditioning plant that grows, conditions, and sells Westbred spring wheat seed, which was the top-growing spring wheat in North Dakota last year. Contact Anderson Seed Farms in Foreman at andersonseedfarms.com.
Partnership is a way of life here in the Northland. It's about pitching in to help our neighbors, making lending decisions locally, honoring long-term commitments to farmers, Main Street businesses, teams, schools, and rural communities. We're more than just a bank. We're a community partner, working constantly and diligently to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. Bank North, always true.
The Bison Booster Club, an organization that is rooted in their support of the activities within the Milner Public School District and the City of Milner. They pride themselves on their community involvement in local donations to area projects and sponsorships to help make their community a pleasant place to reside. If you have any questions or are interested in becoming a Booster Club member, you can check out the Bison Booster Club on Facebook or talk with any of the existing members. The Bison Booster Club, helping make their community a better place to live. The Milner Public School District has a long history of academic, artistic, and athletic achievement and is proud of the programs and education environment offered. A fully accredited educational system, Milner Public School District operates 2 separate school buildings, including Sundale Colony School. Over 85%, that's right, 85% of the graduates of Milner High School attend some form of post-secondary educational institution. You can find more information on the Milner Public School District online at milner.k12.nd.us.
Data shows that half of the pills seized off the street by law enforcement contain a lethal dose of fentanyl. You never know when you might find yourself in the middle of an emergency. Why not be the reason a life can be saved? Narcan provides a safe and easy way to reverse the effects of an opioid in just minutes. You can pick up your Narcan today for free at your local public health office.
This message is brought to you by your local public health unit.
All right, back here in the Stock Growers Bank broadcast booth with the Farmers Union David Bergman Insurance halftime show. David Bergman Insurance is your headquarters for home, auto, life, farm and ranch, business, crop, and health. Not all products are underwritten by Farmers Union Insurance. Call 701-724-6252. Once again, that's David Bergman Insurance by Farmers Union. As we set to kick off here the second half of play. Sargent County 8, Northern Cass 22 at the moment. Don't forget to stick around for the towards the end of the game. We'll announce a play of the game that's brought to you by Agassiz Precision Ag and a player of the game brought to you by Enbridge. Our timeouts here tonight, we haven't gotten to do any, but they are brought to you by Bank North. So hopefully one of these days we'll get here to a Bank North timeout. And as we get set to get the second half underway, the Bulldogs do kick it off to the far side. And it looks like that is number 10. Number 10 is Howard Gellner. Gellner is able to get to about the 39-yard line here on the near side as he took the ball inside probably close to the 20-yard line or so, and on the far side of the field. And we will start off our first drive of the second half as As a reminder, Sargent County, actually Northern Cass had won the coin toss. They chose to defer, kicked it off to Sargent County. So Northern Cass has got the ball here to start off the second half as the Jaguars spread things out a little bit here with 2 wide receivers. They'll send 3 wide receivers. They send one in motion off to the near side. And we've got a flag, and the ball goes a handoff to Crockett, and Crockett powers through. And if the flag is not against them, they will get a first down, a gain of about 11 yards for Crockett, as he's able to find a few seams and power through for about 11 or 12 yards. But we'll see what the play is here, what the call is, I guess, on the field. And call from the official is an illegal shift by the Northern Cass Jaguars. So that 11-yard gain is negated by a penalty, and that'll put the ball back 5 yards. And it'll be a 1st and 15 for the Jaguars. As the Jaguars come to the line. And they'll have a slot receiver to the left, 2 receivers to the right. They'll send them in motion, and they'll hand the ball off to Zeski up the middle. And Zeski able to get a few yards on the play, maybe knock away that, maybe knock away a little bit of that penalty. He'll get 4 of those 5 yards back, so it'll be 2nd and 11 here early on in the third quarter. As the Jaguars take a substitution, it looks like Noah Christensen comes out. And the quarterback, Hudson Reichel, takes the play in from coach. And they'll line up in a little bit more of a tight formation. They've got trips over here on the right side, but they're all lined pretty tight. The line is spread out pretty good, and the ball will be to Zeski. Zeski's going to make a few jumps, and Ryan Ing is going to be there to make the stop on the play, but not before Zeski picks up about another 5 yards, bringing it to 3rd and about 6 to go here as the clock keeps winding down here in the third quarter.
Ball on the Jaguar 42-yard line.
And a little bantering going on both sidelines. The Bulldogs crowd cheering for them to get a big stop here on 3rd down. They need it, and there's a penalty before the play begins. And Northern Cass, an illegal substitution. So a few pre-snap penalties here for Northern Cass are keeping them from being able to get the ball downfield. But, hey, it's still 3rd down, 3rd and about 12 to go. As that'll bring the ball back 5 yards on the play. And clock is stopped at least for now. And the whistle blows and the clock continues here. 9:50 to go. As once again they'll spread things out with trips off to the far side and Crockett on the near side. Zeski in the backfield with Reichel. And Reichel takes a snap, drops back. Short little pass over to Zeski, and he's got a couple of defenders on him and able to mitigate him only to about a 3-yard gain or so on the play. And it'll be 4th and 9 on the Northern Cass side of the field. So this brings up a punting situation. Bulldogs able to stop them here after a few quick touchdowns really by Northern Cass there in the second quarter. And Bulldogs are set deep as Bierke kicks the ball off. And the ball is fielded by Ing on the far side. And he's going to take it to the near side, cut up the middle, and able to get to right around the 35-yard line. And that's where the Bulldogs will begin on their opening drive of the second half. As Fury will take the play call in from head coach Olson. Eric Olson, the 21st year head coach of the Bulldog program. And the Jaguars once again lining up in their kind of 3-4 defense, showing a little bit of blitz pressure here from the outside linebackers. But they'll hand the ball off to Ing, and Ing somehow stays on his feet despite a crowd of Jaguars on the prowl for him. But forward progress won't push him back as far as it looked at here maybe from the camera. He'll lose only maybe a yard on the play, bringing up 2nd and 11 for Sargent County. And Sargent County this time will line up in an I formation with Agnes and Ing in the backfield. One receiver off to the left, one to the right. And they'll throw the ball off to the near side. That's Peterson with the catch. And Peterson dances around, is able to get past that first down yardage. And it's taking everybody to get him down. And there was 3 to 4 Jaguars there, but a little bit of help from the offense. And the Bulldogs pick up a valuable first down here and bring the ball across the 50-yard line. And they'll spot this one right at about the 48 on the Jaguars side of the field as Fury connects with his receiver and able to keep this drive alive, keep it going. One of the things that Coach Olson had talked about a little bit in the pregame interview is establishing that run game. That has not worked out so far here for Sargent County. I believe negative rushing yards for the Bulldogs thus far. Lining up this time again in the I formation. As Olafson's on the far side, Peterson on the near side. They'll pitch it to the right side to Ing, and Ing will use a little bit of his speed to progress the ball forward about 4 to 5 yards. We'll call it 4 yards on the play, bringing up 2nd and 6.
And 4 brings up 2nd and 6 for the Bulldogs.
As Fury takes the call in from Olson. Out to the huddle as the clock continues here. Bulldogs making, wanted to get that second offensive touchdown here of the season, hopefully on this drive for them. Same formation. And Fury drops back. He's got pressure and is able to escape a few men, rolls around to his right, throws it downfield and quite out of the range of Zabin Olafson. And that'll be an incomplete pass. And we'll be looking at a 3rd and 6 as the clock stops on the incomplete pass. Fury able to escape that pressure there. It looked like he didn't really have too much of a hope, but able to use his feet, swirl off to the far side, and at least get rid of the ball. Zabin Olafson was there. And the Sargent County Bulldogs will call their first timeout of the half and first timeout of the game. So here we are. Here's the timeout we were looking for earlier. These timeouts are brought to you by Bank North. Bank North has been a trusted financial partner for generations, helping customers and communities build, grow, and prosper. To see what values-based banking can do for you, visit banknorth.bank today. Bank North, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
If you haven't gotten your raffle ticket yet for the helmet and football, now's your last chance. Drawn for that at the end of this quarter.
So to kind of recap a little bit of the season here for the Sargent County Bulldogs, the first game of the year played back on August 22nd. They went up to Park River and were defeated 6-38 that game. Only score that had come from Ryan Ing on a kickoff return. And the next game was a home game against Carrington over at North Sargent High School. Bulldogs able to do well defensively, just couldn't quite get things rolling offensively. Fell short that game 14-0. And then last week in Valley City, some effort going with the Bulldogs. It looked like they were able to kind of get some things offensively going there. But the 8 points that they had in that 8-38 loss came on a pick six, I believe. And puts them here at 0-3, but trying to get that win column here as Newstall takes the ball here, and he doesn't get really, maybe just back to the original line, to the line of scrimmage, maybe a little short, maybe lost about a half a yard there. So we'll have 4th and about 7 to go for Sargent County as the clock keeps winding here in the third quarter. And looks like Olson is maybe going to keep the offense on the field as he sends in Tristan Peterson with the play call. And it looks like they are going to stay out there, and the Jaguar defense expecting it as well. So the Bulldogs have the field split with 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. They send Newstall in motion to the right, and Fury's got pressure as he scrambles and is able to get the ball away, but it is deflected downfield by Crockett, and Bope was there. He was open. Fury couldn't quite get enough on it to get it over Crockett, but Crockett's been all over the place offensively and defensively, just knowing where to kind of sniff that ball out, able to get a hand up and turn the ball over and give it back to the Jaguars here right at about the 45-yard line of the Northern Cass side of the field. And the Jaguars will line up in a shotgun formation here with Zeski back behind him, 1 to the left and a few to the right. 1 to the right, a few to the left, and they'll give the ball to Zeski up the middle. He'll pick up about 4 to 5 yards on the play. He won't quite get to midfield. They'll mark it down at about the 49-yard line. Pick up a 4, bringing up 2nd and 6. And here we go, 2nd and 6, 5:11 to go here in the third quarter. And it looks like they've got Hoyland here to the near side, Zeski in the backfield with Reichel. Reichel takes a snap, looks downfield to Hoy. Oh, and he's got the ball, able to catch it, shake off a defender or two, and he could go all the way. Touchdown, Northern Cass Jaguars. Chris Hoyland, the wide receiver, able to shake off a few defenders there, and he was gone. So another 50-plus yard touchdown catch and run for the Northern Cass Jaguars, putting 6 more points on the board. And Hoyland with a nice catch and shake and bake action to get himself into the end zone here with 4:51 to go in the third quarter. And another 52-yard pass completion for a touchdown as Northern Cass lines up going for 2 here. They're spreading the ball out a little bit. They've got 3 wide receivers off to the left. Snap to Reichel. Reichel throws the ball downfield, and he's got a man. Was he able to hold on to it? I believe he was. Yes, that was number 10, Howard Gellner, with the grab. And the Northern Cass Jaguars are able to put 8 on the board from that one, bringing the score to 30-8 here with 4:51 to go in the third. We'll be back in a minute.
In Hope, North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities. There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota.
The Sargent Central Dollars for Scholars chapter is a nonprofit foundation that supports academic success in the community. The mission is to mobilize the community on behalf of post-secondary education success for the students. Dollars for Scholars chapters help hometown students achieve their educational goals by raising scholarship funds, establishing endowments, and more. For more information, scan the QR code on screen or stop by the Sargent Central School District. This game is brought to you in part by Brad and Rachel Hoisted family.
And we're back here at Gaynor Field up at the Stock Growers Bank broadcast booth. Northern Cass Jaguars able to score on a 52-yard pass and catch from Reichel to Hoyland as they set to kick off to Sargent County, and Ryan Engel placed the ball right around the 20-yard line. And coming to the near side, able to escape a few people. And he's got a few men beat. One more to go. And Ryan Ing could go all the way. Touchdown, Sargent County Bulldogs, as Ryan Ing takes his second kick for return for a touchdown for the season. And Sargent County gets 6 more on the board, 14-30. Here we go. So, just taking a few seconds off of the clock, the Bulldogs are right back in it, and Ryan Ing on a kick return for a touchdown, able to kind of dance around a few people and wait for a few blocks to develop, and Sargent County gets 6 more on the board with a roughly 80-yard return. I couldn't quite tell, but it looked like he was right around the 20-yard line when he fielded that one, and Sargent County will line up to convert for an attempted 2-point conversion. And Hogness in the backfield in a shotgun formation as Fury throws the ball to the far corner and is outside of the reach of the intended receiver. That was Tristan Peterson in the corner of the end zone. So we'll keep it at 14 points here with 4:37 to go in the third quarter. Sargent County able to put some more points on the board. Northern Cass with a lead, 30-14. We'll be back in a minute.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting what's important in life.
Get in touch with David Bergerman today at 701-724-6252.
Back here at Gaynor Field in Milner, North Dakota, with the Sargent County Bulldogs getting a few more points on the board from a kick return by Ryan Ing. And here we are to score a 30-14, 4:37 to go. And we've got a squib kick, onside kick, and they had Luke Mund up there on that one, and it looks like that was unsuccessful, so Northern Cass will get the ball back right around the midfield, right at midfield. And got to take those chances every once in a while here. Sargent County able to get a few points here on the board again in the third quarter. We've got at least a 2-score deficit here, 16-point lead for the Jags. So the Sargent County Bulldogs need at least 2 touchdowns and 2 2-point conversions to at least get it knotted up. So gotta try it at least anyway, as Reichel spins around, has good pressure, and nearly picked off. Jace Fury was there diving for the ball, but he couldn't quite get there in time, as Reichel essentially had to throw that ball away as the Bulldogs were applying some good pressure, had him by the jersey there. And so that'll set up a 2nd and 10 for the Jaguars. And they'll spread things out a little bit here. A couple slot receivers and 2 wide out on each end, 1 on each end, as they'll hand the ball off to Zeski up the middle. And Zeski will pile drive through for a gain of about 4 yards, bringing up 3rd and 6. And that clock will keep rolling. Looks like it could be a long 6 yards, maybe closer to 7, 6.5 yards to go. Maybe we'll call it that on the placement of the ball. And the Bulldogs defense and sideline starting to make a little bit of noise here, needing to get a stop, get that ball back. And once again, spreading things out a little bit as Reichel takes a snap. He hands the ball off to Zeski, but he's met right away by Charlie Hogness, and they will lose a few yards on the play, at least 1 or 2, and we'll have a 4th and 8. Sargent County with a big 3rd down stop, and looks like Northern Cass is maybe bringing out their punt crew, and the Bulldogs look to be expecting it, but it looks like, yes, Hoyland is back to receive that punt, and he will get it off. It's a high punt, and fair catch by Ryan Ing, and the Bulldogs will be able to get the ball back here, see if they can get another few points on the board, tighten this lead that Northern Cass has got. And looks like they're right around the 25-yard line, from what I can tell from here. And it looks like they'll place it right around the 23-yard line, as the Bulldogs will spread things out. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. They'll send Ing in motion to the right, and they'll throw the ball off to him, off to the right side. Ing's got it, able to power forward here and pick up about 6 yards on the play. We'll bring up 2nd and 4. And clock keeps winding on that play as she stayed in bounds. Ing with a good pickup of 6, nearly 7 yards on the play. Bulldogs spread out a little bit more. They'll send Ing in motion the other way, and they'll almost look like they'll fake it to the last play that they did. Somehow Fury able to kind of keep his on his feet. Tons of pressure, and it looks like Northern Cass was right there. That was number 66, Luke Wolski, the junior left outside linebacker, able to get him back and sort of negate those yards that Ing had picked up. And it'll be 3rd and 11 here for Sargent County as the clock keeps ticking down here late in the 3rd quarter. And Bulldogs, once again, similar formation where they've got it spread out, 2 left, 2 right. They'll send Ing in motion just like the last 2 plays, and they'll swing it out to him again. Ing's got the ball and kind of tries to shake and make some guys miss, but ultimately, at the end of the day, it looks like number 24 for the Jaguars, Gabriel Steele, the senior, was able to get him down and at least stop him from getting a first down. Ing was close. We had about a yard to go, so it's 4th and a long 1 yard, I would say. And the clock is keeping on rolling here with 1:05 to go, and the Bulldogs appear to be going for it here on a 4th and a long 1 yard to go. They've got 1 receiver to the left, 1 to the right, and it looks like Fury will keep it. And good pressure from the Northern Cass defense, and he is not going to get the first down. That's going to be a turnover on downs. Looks like he probably just got to the line of scrimmage and was not able to get any farther than that. So the Jaguars are going to take over the ball on about the 34-yard line on the Bulldogs side of the field with 52 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. And looks like the Bulldogs defense is still staying pretty positive out there. They know how important it is to make a stop here on this particular drive, keep the Jaguars out of the end zone to keep this game sort of in play. And they'll kind of have basically 2 wide receivers off to the far side. And we've got a flag on the far side of the field. Looked like it was kind of going on. Hunter Kemet on the far side and Tristan Peterson were over there. So that was a neutral zone infraction. Didn't see exactly who that had come from, but neutral zone infraction will give the Jaguars a 1st and 5 here, advances the ball to the 29-yard line. 2 receivers off to the far side as Crockett is on the near side, and Reichel looking downfield and just over the head of Chris Hoyland. Chris Hoyland earlier was the wide receiver that caught that long 52-yard pass for a touchdown with 4:51 to go here in this quarter. And Reichel overshot his intended receiver, so we'll be sitting at a 2nd and 5. Still a ball down at the 29-yard line on the Bulldog side of the field. As Reichel and Zeski will remain in the backfield, Crockett kind of in a slot position off to the right side, 2 wide receivers off to the left. And they'll hand the ball off to Zeski, and he's met right away by Logan Bope, who couldn't quite get him, but right there for the Sargent County Bulldogs was Eli Olson, the freshman, and able to stop that play from going anywhere. They'll actually lose about 1 or 2 yards on the play, so it'll be 3rd and 7 for the Jaguars as the clock keeps ticking down here with 24 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Bulldogs looking to make another big 3rd and 4th down stop here if it gets to that. They need the ball back with a 2-possession game at least right now for Sargent County. As Reichel does a few hard counts, looks like he's trying to draw the defense offside, and it looks like that'll take us right into the 4th quarter. So here we are, end of the 3rd, going into the 4th quarter. The Northern Cass Jaguars 30, Sargent County Bulldogs 14. We'll be back in a minute with 4th quarter action.
The Bison Booster Club, an organization that is rooted in their support of the activities within the Milner Public School District and the City of Milner. They pride themselves on their community involvement in local donations to area projects and sponsorships to help make their community a pleasant place to reside. If you have any questions or are interested in becoming a Booster Club member, you can check out the Bison Booster Club on Facebook or talk with any of the existing members. The Bison Booster Club, helping make their community a better place to live.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ. 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
All right, back here with 4th quarter action just about to come underway. Been a good game here in Milner at Gaynor Field as the Sargent County Bulldogs on their homecoming week are hosting the Northern Cass Jaguars. Most of the scoring, 4 of the touchdowns, 3 from the Jaguars and 1 from Sargent County came in the 2nd quarter, and then a touchdown apiece right here in the 3rd within a few seconds of each other as Hoyland grabbed in a catch from Reichel and able to get a big 52-yard touchdown there and followed back by Ryan Ing. And we've got a no gain on the play as I believe that was, let's see. And that looked to be Crockett on the carry. And now we've got a 4th and 7 to go for Northern Cass with 11:25 to go here in the 4th. And Reichel takes the snap, drops back, got a little bit of pressure, and is able to get the ball off, and he's got a man. That, my friends, is number 4, Parker Zeski, once again making moves downfield, and this time catching the ball, and he was wide open, folks. Had good pressure on Reichel, but Zeski had kind of snuck around the far side, right along the sideline there, and was able to get into the basically unguarded into the end zone, and Northern Cass puts another 6 on the board here with 11:13 to go. And 2-point conversion about to come up here for the Jaguars. And they've got 3 wide receivers off to the near side, 1 to the far side as Reichel throws the ball and does connect. And it looked like, to me, that was Hoyland.
2-point conversion, no good.
And Hoyland not quite able to get into the end zone. So we'll keep the score parked right here at 36-14, 11-13 to go. We'll be back in a minute.
Milner Grain understands that agriculture is your livelihood, and we're committed to providing you with the highest quality of services to meet your farming needs. Milner Grain has a passion for our community and the farmers we serve. Milner Grain is locally owned and operated. When you're looking for a partner in the field, look to Milner Grain. Call 701-427-5284 or check out Milner Grain's app with current up-to-date prices. Milner Grain is here to help you and your farm grow.
The Milner Public School District has a long history of academic, artistic, and athletic achievement and is proud of the programs and education environment offered. A fully accredited educational system, Milner Public School District operates 2 separate school buildings, including Sundale Colony School. Over 85%, that's right, 85% of the graduates of Milner High School attend some form of post-secondary educational institution. You can find more information on the Milner Public School District online at milner.k12.nd.us.
All right, back here in the fourth quarter, 11-13 to go as Zeski scores another touchdown here for the Jaguars and picked up by Tristan Peterson on the kickoff, and he advances the ball past the 40-yard line to about the 42, maybe 43-yard line, and that is where the Bulldogs will take over. They'll spot the ball at the 43, and here we go. So the Bulldogs break the huddle here, and they've got 2 wide receivers off to the near side, 1 to the far side. Hogness in the backfield with Fury. They'll send a man in motion, and they'll pitch the ball off to him. And that, my friends, is number 9, Eli Olson, the freshman, and he still remained on his feet for a little while longer than I thought, but he was able to get downfield, pick up about 4 yards, bringing up 2nd and 6 on the play. And Sargent County, as mentioned earlier, kind of looking to sort of establish that run game, as Olson had sort of mentioned in the pregame show, but have had a few more successes kind of through the air, a few quick pitches out to the near side, or maybe even sending a wide receiver just like that play there. Olson getting the ball, and they do kind of the same thing, but this time Fury keeps the ball, runs it up the middle, and he's able to get a first down on the play. The ball almost looked like it was coming loose, but he did retain that. He just sort of had the ball kind of sticking out a little bit, but brought it back in, and Fury is able to pick up first down on the play, keep this drive alive for Sargent County. They'll place the ball right around the 46-yard line for the on the northern cast side of the field. And as I was just talking, getting that run game established, and Olson kind of playing a little trickery, the same play kind of running the other direction, but this time Fury keeps it. And fake here, this time they're going to throw it, but Fury has got a little bit of pressure, and he dances around, able to escape a little bit of pressure, but doesn't quite get maybe to the original line of scrimmage. It looked like it was, he gets right down, the original line of scrimmage. They'll mark him down. So pickup of 0 yards on the play for Jace Fury. They maybe move him back maybe a half a yard or so. So 2nd and about 11 for Sargent County. Clock keeps ticking with 9:19 to go here in the fourth quarter. Be sure to stick around here for the end of the game. We'll go through some final scores or scoring updates from around the state of North Dakota, as well as announce a player of the game and a play of the game. That player of the game, the precision play of the game, is brought to you by Agassiz Precision Ag. And we got a little movement out front. And it looks like it'll be on the Sargent County Bulldogs, so that'll put them back 5 yards, bringing up 2nd and about 16 for Sargent County. But the precision play of the game brought to you by Agassiz Precision Egg, and the player of the game brought to you by Enbridge. And this time the Bulldogs will line up with 2 receivers on the near side, 1 to the far side. Hognes in the backfield as Fury rolls around to his left side. Able to get past the line of scrimmage, but not much farther after that. Turns the play of kind of what was maybe nothing into a little bit of something and picks up maybe a yard on the play, bringing up 3rd and 15 for Sargent County. 3rd and 14. 3rd and 14. Ball right at midfield. And Bulldogs will spread this one out, 2 to the near, 2 to the far. Ing in the backfield with Fury. They'll send Olsen in motion, and Fury will drop back. And they'll dump the ball off to Ing in the backfield deep, but Ing is able to get at least past the line of scrimmage, close to the original line of scrimmage on this series. And he'll be a little short of that, so it'll be 3rd and 11 4th and 11 for Sargent County. Ball placed right around the 47-yard line. And it looks like Fury will stay in here. The Bulldogs appear to be going forward on 4th. They're down 3 touchdowns, so got to make that play. Keep this drive alive, keep the hopes of this game going as they send Newstill in motion. And Fury drops back, throws the ball to the far side. It is caught by Tristan Peterson, and he keeps fighting forward, but he is not going to get enough for a first down, and the Bulldogs will turn it over on downs. And they'll get the ball right around the 41-yard line, we'll call it. .6:58 to go, 3-score lead. You can only imagine Northern Cass will look to just sort of grind down the clock here by doing some running as they hope to advance their season record to 2-2 on the year, picking up their, if they're able to come off today, that would be their first win in the region. Sargent County still fighting to get that first victory here of the year with just under 7 minutes to go. Doesn't look like they're giving up by any means, though, and looks to apply some pressure here to them, and they're able to make a good stop here as Zeski is pushed back by a crowd of Bulldogs. Looks like Newstill is in on there as one of the main men, and they're going to maybe give him a yard on the play. As the clock kind of keeps rolling, Sargent County, I believe, has 2 timeouts to go here in the half. The Bulldogs send out a substitution. It looks like Cole Fury steps out of the game. And the ball is going to be handed off, this time to Crockett in the backfield as he powers forward, able to pick up about maybe 5 yards on the play, 4 or 5 yards on the play. We'll see where they spot it. And it'll bring up about 3rd and 4 for the Northern Cass Jaguars. And important play here for Sargent County, both teams. If they can kind of keep the Jaguars at bay here, turn the ball over on downs, Sargent County's got a little time to get a few points on the board, and they do come up with the stop. It'll be 4th and short And it looks like Furter was in there on the play, able to stop the Jaguars prior to advancing to a first down. So we got a 4th and 1 here for Northern Cass with the clock ticking down, 5:07 to go. And it looks like they are making some substitutions, looking like they will punt the ball. But we'll see how they line up. It looks like they do. They've got Hoyland in the backfield there. And for the Bulldogs, we've got Eli Olson and Ryan Ing out deep, set to receive. As Hoyland takes the ball, gets it off. Decent punt, falls into the arms of Eli Olson as he runs to the near side and is able to get a decent gain, keeps himself in bounds. Let's see where they mark him off. He might have had 1 foot out prior to where he landed, and that appears to be the case. So they'll put him down at the 42-yard line on the Bulldog side of the field with 4:36 to go here in the 4th quarter. The Bulldogs come to the line. They're spreading things out again here again. Two receivers to the far, 2 to the near. And they're going to send Ing in motion off to the left. And he's going to catch the ball in the backfield and is able to maybe get it close to the line of scrimmage. So no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 10 for Sargent County. And the clock will keep rolling. Once again, the Bulldogs have a couple timeouts left. I believe Northern Cass has got all of their timeouts remaining. Not that they will necessarily need them. And once again, similar formation, 2 off to the left, 2 to the right. Ing is in the backfield with Fury, and they'll snap the ball to Fury. Fury drops back, throws the ball deep downfield, and he's got Peterson down there, and Peterson's able to haul that ball in and keep it going. And nice, beautiful connection there. Good athletic play by Tristan Peterson. He was well defended on that one, but able to snag that ball down and keep the drive going here for Sargent County. And it looks like they'll spot the ball roughly around the 25-yard line. A little hard to tell up here in the booth on the paint colors. The field was painted freshly, I believe, on Wednesday, but there was a junior high game that was on it, so some of those lines are getting a little hard to see here at night. And Sargent County did have a little movement there on the far side. It looked like Logan Bope maybe did not get the correct count on the play. And so the Bulldogs will move back 5 yards to the 30-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 15 for Sargent County. Bulldogs 2 on the near side, 1 to the far side. Low snap to Fury. He's able to get it, and Newstill able to hang on to that ball as it hit his hands. He was met pretty quickly by Gabriel Steele, that senior cornerback here for the Jaguars, and but Newstill able to kind of almost bobble that ball back right into his hands and hold on to it, advance the ball down, and pick up about a 6-yard gain on the play, leaving the Bulldogs to a 2nd and 9 here as the clock continues to wind down. 2:47 to go on the 24-yard line. And the Bulldogs have got 2 off to the right, 1 to the left. And Fury rolls around to the right side, throws the ball right around the sideline to Olafson. Olafson's not able to hold on to it or remain in bounds. And the Bulldogs will be faced with another 3rd and long. Clock stops at 2:35. So Sargent County lines up again in their typical shotgun formation. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Eli Olson in the backfield as Fury scrambles off to his left, but is met by another couple of Jaguars and just needed to get the ball away as he was getting hit. And it'll be 4th and 9 for Sargent County. So Sargent County obviously going for it here on 4th and 9 as the clock is stopped at 2:25. Ball placement still on the 24-yard line on the Jaguar side of the field. As two receivers to the left, one to the right. Fury rolls off to his left and throws the ball up in the air. And my goodness, that ball was caught, but it was out of bounds. And that was Tristan Peterson, the intended receiver. It almost looks like there is a Jaguar down the defender off on the far side of the field. Hope everything is okay over there. And looks like they were able to get him up off onto his feet. Can't quite tell the number right from here, but he appears to be okay, which is a good thing to see here. And looks like he'll maybe check out here for the play. Obviously switching over to, looked like it was number 19, Jace Aronson. And the junior wide receiver and left side at corner linebacker. And right now the Jaguars will take over the ball at the 24-yard line. 2:17 to go. Snap and handoff to Crockett. Crockett rolling around the right side, trying to get something forward, but he is met by Harry Newstall. And Newstall able to bring Crockett down. Crockett, Ben, and Zeski have been players to kind of watch on this Northern Cass team. Hoyland also an explosive player. Gellner getting in there. And, of course, the quarterback, Hudson Reichel, able to make a lot of plays here for this Northern Cass team and put together a good game here so far. As the clock winds down, it appears that the Northern Cass Jaguars will move to a 2-2 record as Sargent County will fall to a 0-4. 0-2 in region play and 1-1 in region play for the Jaguars. And they'll hand the ball off to Crockett again. And Crockett will basically get back to that original line of scrimmage again. So it'll be 3rd and 10. And the clock will stop. Not sure. Should be a little discussion within the officiating crew, I believe, is why that clock had stopped. But we'll see if they make a call here. Having a little chat with Olson at the moment on the sideline. And that clock and the game clock and play clock are still stopped. So there was an illegal shift against the Jaguars, and Olson's going to decline the penalty and take the down. So 3rd and looked like he maybe did pick up a couple yards on the play there. So it is 3rd and 8 from about the 26-yard line. And now that clock is continuing with 1:20 and ticking to go. And the Jaguars waiting till the last second, I'm sure, here to get a play off. And they'll send a man in motion and hand the ball off from here. It looks like it's probably Crockett. Crockett's going to basically get a yard on the play. And the clock will keep rolling on the 4th down. And the game clock and the play clock right now have a difference of about 20 seconds. So they'll need to get at least get a play off here before turning the ball back over to Sargent County. I'm sure Sargent County would love to see a punt here. Mr. Ryan Ing and his explosiveness on his punt returns and kick returns has been a big asset for Sargent County. Maybe give him one last chance to run another one back here for the Bulldogs and tighten up that scoring deficit a little bit. And Northern Cass is going to call a timeout. That's only been the second timeout the entire game, one for each team now. So instead of taking that 5-yard penalty of a delay of game to get that rolled all the way down, they will take a timeout instead. And once again, our timeouts here are brought to you by Bank North. Bank North has been a trusted financial advisor for generations, helping customers and communities build, grow, and prosper. To see what values-based banking can do for you, visit banknorth.bank today. Bank North, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. As mentioned earlier, after the completion of this game, feel free to stick around for the post-game show. We're going to announce a precision play of the game brought to you by Agassiz Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer, as well as a player of the game brought to you by Enbridge. Life takes energy. Enbridge, energy for life. And the punt is off, and the ball is fielded right around the 45-yard line, and it's going to be taken down to about the 30. That was Hans Hansen on the punt return. Gets a nice return here for Sargent County, and they'll place the ball close to around the 30-yard line. We'll see where the exact marking of that may be, but 8 seconds to go on the game, and we'll see what Sargent County does here with likely the last play of the game. Might get 2 off here if they do a short pass, out pass type of situation, but could very well likely be the last play of the game as they spread things out a little bit. Fury takes the snap, drops down back deep. He's got pressure, and the ball thrown up in the air, and it is intercepted, it looks like.
That's the ball game, folks. Thanks for coming. Drive safe.
And the ball was intercepted by the Northern Cass Jaguars. There was a few of them that were down there. And it was Crockett once again getting his hands in there to wrap this game up. So here we are at Gaynor Field with a final score this evening. Sargent County 14, Northern Cass 36. We'll be back in a minute here with some scores from around North Dakota in all the different classes, and do a little recap of tonight's game here in Milner, and we'll announce our precision play of the game, brought to you by Agassiz Precision Ag, as well as a player of the game brought to you by Enbridge. We'll be back in a minute.
Buying and selling heavy equipment at purplewave.com saves time and money. We handle all of the details, including pictures, videos, marketing, titles, and payments.
It was almost immediately over the top with the customer service. I've just never ever experienced that before with any other auction service. They're constantly working for me as the seller, and I really like that.
Purple Wave Auction is straight, simple, sold.
Teens are faced with tough decisions all the time, and parents aren't always there when it happens. But that doesn't mean they can't influence their kids to make the right choice, because making that right choice is easier when the wrong one isn't an option. When your teen faces peer pressure, what you give them access to can make all the difference. This message is brought to you by your local public health unit.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Ball is here, and that means...
And back here at Gaynor Field after the victory posed by the Northern Cass Jaguars, 36-14 over Sargent County, spoiling their homecoming this week. As you can see, the Jaguars happily celebrating tonight and coming away with a victory, pushing their record on the season to 2-2, 1-1 in the Region 1 play. Sargent County drops to 0-4 on the season and 0-2 in Region 1 play. So we've got a play of the game and a player of the game to announce. And a little bit of a tough choice here as far as the player of the game. We're going to start with the player of the game, brought to you by Enbridge. All right, so Enbridge takes energy. Enbridge, energy for life. Visit enbridge.com for career opportunities. Well, I think that player of the game, brought to you by Enbridge, it was a little bit of a toss-up, but at the end of the day, we've got to go with the quarterback, Hudson Reichel. I don't have all the full stat breakdown for Reichel, but able to complete 3 touchdown passes on this game. 2 in the second quarter, 1 to Olafson, 1 to Crockett, and then again he was able to get a passing touchdown for 52 yards to Hoyland in the third quarter. So congratulations, the Enbridge player of the game is your quarterback for the Northern Cass Jaguars, Mr. Hudson Reichel, the junior wearing number 11. Congratulations to you. And that player of the game is brought to you by Enbridge. Now moving on to the play of the game. Well, the play of the game also is going to involve that same individual, of course. The play of the game here tonight is brought to you by Agassiz Precision Ag. Now, your local Agassiz Precision Ag is your local precision planting dealer. Agassiz Precision Ag in Hillsboro, call 701. Oh, my papers are blowing here in the wind. Call 701-436-2119 or visit planterdoc.com. So that Agassiz Precision Ag play of the game has got to be, I'm going to call it, there's a few of them that I could have picked from, but the one I'm going to go with here this evening has got to be with 7:06 to go in the second quarter. Reichel with a 52-yard pass to Crockett. With 7:06 left to go in the second, just after the Bulldogs had scored their touchdown to give them kind of the lead, at the 14-8 lead, and it was kind of the Jaguars game from there. Sargent County definitely hung in there, but looking at kind of some defining plays, Sargent County was able to get that huge touchdown from Olafson to give them kind of their first lead, but the Jaguars really responded right back pretty quickly in less than a minute. 59 seconds later, came back with a 52-yard touchdown pass from Reichel to Crockett, and that kind of helped pave the way for the rest of the game. So congratulations to Reichel and Crockett on also getting the play of the game, brought to you by Agassiz Precision Ag. So running through how we got to the score here tonight, I already announced a few of the plays here that happened, but we'll start all the way over from scratch. So in the second quarter, 10:34 to go, Reichel was able to run the ball in, and I'm sorry, when I was announcing the play of the game, the player of the game, Reichel, I gave him 3 touchdown passes. I failed to mention that he also had a rushing touchdown, and that was the first score of the game. That was a 5-yard rush in. Failed 2-point conversion, but able to take the early lead 6-0. Sargent County a few minutes later in the second quarter with 8:05 to go was able to march down the field on a 4th down and long play to go. Jace Fury connected with Zabin Olafson on a 32-yard catch right at the kind of the corner beginning part of the end zone, and then Fury ran in for a 2-point conversion, giving Sargent County their first lead of the season at 6-8. And but a minute later, here came that play, that precision play of the game, right? 7:06 to go, 52-yard drop to Crockett from Reichel, and then a pass to Crockett completed the extra 2-point conversion, giving the score 14-8. Then later on, just before the half, with 54 seconds to go, Zeski had a 3-yard run into the end zone, and then he also took the ball again for that 2-point conversion, bringing the lead to 22-8. Then moving on to the third quarter, Northern Cass, 4:51 to go left in the game. Another 52-yard dime thrown by Reichel to Hoyland, and completed a pass to Gellner in the end zone as well, bringing that score up to 30-8. And then Sargent County was able to respond really well on the ensuing kickoff. Ryan Ing ran about 80 yards all the way across the field, giving the Bulldogs 6 more points on the board. Failed 2-point conversion. Score is 30-14. And then finally in the fourth quarter, right at the beginning there, with 11:13 to go in the fourth, Zeski was able to run in a 31-yard dash into the end zone, and that brings us to our final score here of 36-14, Northern Cass over Sargent County. So that kind of does it here for the report here for this game, but I'm going to share with you a few scores going on around 9-man, 11-man, AA, AAA here for football games before I tell you good night. So let's start off in the 9-man division. Wyndmere Lidgerwood tops Larimore 44-0. Napoleon Gackle Streeter over Richardson Taylor Hebron 22-8. Moving on down to Linton HMB takes the victory over Grant County Flasher 32-12. Griggs-Minn Coda over Enderlin 48-14. Looks like Alexander may actually beat West Hope Newburgh Glenburn. There's a minute left in the game here. That score is 52-6. New Rockford Cheyenne Maddock, the number 1 ranked team in all of 9-man, with a victory over the number 4 ranked North Border 48-8. And looking over across to the game mentioned earlier, Hankinson and Hatton Northwood. Hankinson right now has the lead. The last reported scoring update I've got, 46-38 with 1 minute left in the third quarter. The number 2 ranked Lemoore Litchville Marion team looks like they have defeated South Border 50-7. North Prairie right now has a close lead here over Nelson County. That game last reported 50-46 with 6 minutes left to go in the game. Maple River defeats Richland 52-15. Moving on to the 11A division for games tonight. Hillsboro, Central Valley, and Ellendale Edgeley Column. 6 whole points on that whole game. Hillsboro Central Valley defeats the number 2 ranked Ellendale Edgeley Column 6-0. The Lisbon Broncos defeat the Highliners out of Valley City 26-0. Oaks defeats Mayport CG 21-18. Harvey Wells County over Carrington 30-27. The number 4 ranked Velva Garrison Drake Animus tops Bottineau 24-18. Dickinson Trinity right now over top of Killdeer 13-7 with 8 minutes left to go in the second. That's the last reported score that I have. Southern McLean beats Shiloh Christian 16-3. And Park River area defeats Thompson 14-12. Number 1 ranked Langdon area Edmore Munich defeats Turtle Mountain 41-0. Looking over at the AA side, Wahpeton with a loss to Devils Lake 34-28. Grand Forks Central over Dickinson 44-21. Fargo North and Fargo South are still at it right now. The score is 28-21 with 4 minutes left to go. North right now with the lead. That game is also on your live event, so feel free to catch the last bit of that one if you can. Central Cass defeats Jamestown 27-18. Minot North over Grand Forks Red River 45-14. Kindred has the decisive lead right now with 3 minutes left to go in the game over Bismarck St. Mary 34-7, and Watford City defeats Williston 48-6. In the AAA side, Bismarck Century defeats West Fargo Cheyenne 17-13. Minot right now has a lead 14-7 over West Fargo. Bismarck Legacy on top of Fargo Davies in a close battle right now. That's the number 1 and 2 ranked teams in that division. 34-30 right now, Bismarck Legacy with 6 minutes left to go in the game. Watford City defeats Williston 48-6. West Fargo Horace defeats Mandan 35-14. And right now, the number 4 and 3 ranked teams, Shanley and Bismarck respectively. That game going on right now last report with 10 minutes left to go in the game, Shanley's got a 39-21 lead over Bismarck. Well, that will do it here for our event here in Milner. Once again, we were here. Sargent County Bulldogs dropping to 0-4 on the season. Northern Cass jumping up to 2-2, 1-1 in region play. That'll do it here for your live event. I am Bryce Hogness, and it's been an honor to be with you all here tonight. Hope you all have a fantastic rest of your evening and weekend, and we will see you next time.